Well, well, well. Here we all are again. In this space, in this time. And as the title suggests, what is this experience that we're having? Is it all objective? Is it all subjective? Is it perception? And that would further lead the question, what is perception? And where are your precepts or um, your perceptions? Where are they built out of? Out of what? Preconceived notions. What's up, my dude? How does it go this evening? So I just changed locations. What's up, Sydney? Right on time, huh? I'm back in New Orleans. Yeah. Back in New Orleans. I was gonna label this talk uh, "Where or What is Home," as in the idea of home, right? 100 proof and some tea. Nice. I'm just sipping on a little red wine right now. I was trying to get to sleep, but um, when you change energetic signatures, cities, um, there's I came from the beach where it's completely silent, and certain energies don't exist there. And I came back to what I consider my home, if there is such a place. I mean, I guess it's all in the mind. It's all wherever you are. Not that that isn't my home, because I enjoy it there. Um, and it's a full moon tonight, and all of this, and there's a bunch of fun things going on with that. If we think there's something outside of ourselves, as above, so below, as within, so without, all of these fun terms. So here I am back in New Orleans, and it's just it's such a sprightly, bright, energetic city. So what time is it here? Let me see what time it is here. It's 12:33. Well, 12:35 now. So we're a few hours behind Sydney at 3:33. Sunday night, and I can feel the vibrance of the city. On I'm not slipping on any Nola wine. This is I don't know what kind of, I don't know what bottle it is. It's just some Cabernet, I think, Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a little more dank. Yeah, New Orleans is home. It's the only place to be. It's the greatest city that I'm aware of existing in this realm for many reasons, and maybe I'll do a whole episode on New Orleans and this one great website. If you don't know about the if you don't know about the mathematics, if you don't know about the latitude and longitude of certain places and the energies within there, New Orleans holds a very special place on the map. You'd find 30s and 90s and 60s, three sixes and nines. And that's where I'm right now. Yeah, population also. Yeah, and Sydney, I'd go one step farther before I get to Butte Ween. Um, I think not only the population, but what the population is made of. Because this as much as it's a city, it doesn't have city energy, meaning New York, Chicago, um, certain cities have that electronic energy that is all made up of a digital realm, where New Orleans is more of a magical realm. It's made of magnetic properties. There's not a lot of big buildings. But there's a lot of humans. There's a lot of living creatures. There's a lot of spirits here, people come here on vacation, it's probably, I've never looked at the math on it, but it's probably one of the most visited places on the planet, meaning people from other cities come here to bring their energy here. There's certain types of people that would never come here or never want to be here because they couldn't experience it. So I think there's a type of energy that's here. It's a portal, and it's also I mean, it's certainly a portal for things, especially when you get to the mathematics of it and the geometry of it. But for the types of beings and spirits that live here and call it home, and the types of people that will come here to experience what is, you know, if you go right to if you all want to check it out, there's this website you should look up, the Soul of the Americas, in New Orleans. It has to do with sacred geometry and why this place is as important as, if not more important than anywhere on the planet, and especially in the Americas. And then there's some interesting cities that I've lived in that run a gambit with this place, based upon some geometries. Obviously, Atlanta, New York, Philly, DC, I believe, or no, is it Baltimore and Boston? There you go. It runs a straight line from city proper, and so there's some interesting things there of places I live too. But this is a center point or a vortex for things. So I find that very interesting. And yeah, so the population, and where how it's yeah, where the center point, the midpoint of a city, it'd be hard to actually pinpoint it in New Orleans. But if you did look at the map and looked at where 3090 is, it's not at the population vortex. It's actually somewhere near City Park. Um, but the population that exists here doesn't. You could say it's in the French Quarter, but that's only an influx of people. It's not like where people live on a day-to-day basis. So it's very interesting. Where other cities, you'd say the middle of the city is where everybody lives. It's downtown, where not necessarily everybody lives in the French Quarter, but they visit there. So it's kind of like an implosive thing. Yeah. Butte Ween, what do I think of Jacksonville shooting? Florida ain't too far from you. I don't think anything of it because everything you see on the news is absolutely without question bullshit. And if you don't already know that, man, um, like that's old hat. That's old news. We've been done knowing that shit for years now. That's all coded. That's all coded Masonic shit, man. I mean, it's not good, bad. It's indifferent. It's just, if that's where you're choosing to pay attention, if that's what you think really happened or exists, then you're not really, then then you're a little behind times here because no, that probably didn't happen. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure it happened, but the same way you can adjust scores in uh, in basketball games and football games in the same way you can. So yeah, I would say that. Yeah. What's up, Arizona? Yeah, Sedona's an interesting place. Sydney, you asked me about cell towers. Towers. We'll do that a little later, maybe. What's up, Eli? Yeah. So I mean, I don't I like Butte, man. For me, it's like I don't even discuss that kind of shit on my channel because it's it's silly to me. I mean, because what isn't in this? What isn't at this point? So I don't discuss anything on the news. It's ridiculous to me. It's completely absurd. Anything that you see on TV, it's the same thing. It's the same show. So mm, I may observe it just so I can see who's talking about it when I'm out in public and see what they're speaking of, and I'm just like, the fuck you talking about? Okay, that's the kind of harmonic you're on. So I don't even bother. That's kind of how it is. Latitude longitude line up with the energetic lines. Yeah, Sydney. I've talked about this before that the cities on this realm are all geomancied, meaning they took everything on the geography or the geometry of the earth, which is, well, you can even say geodes. Like a geode is a crystal. It's crystal grids that are taking energies out of what you call the sky and putting them on the earth. And they're using similar mathematics to grab energies out of the sky and put them down here. Because if this is the reason things exist where they do on the planet and they don't move, because the stars don't move. You know, I mean, when I say they don't move, I mean they're spinning, right? But from year to year, they're pretty much in the same place. You know what I mean? And so from year to year, um, you're not finding that Atlanta moves. You're not gonna find that New York moves. Maybe slightly, but yeah. Um, why is live and sex so addicting, and how to cancel it out? Dimension extension. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Why is live and sex addicting? I'm not understanding what you're saying there, man. Um, okay, I gotta go grab my plug if you guys want a little more, because I'm almost out of. Let me go grab that. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I gotta get my cord. Right back. Mm-hmm. All right. There we go. 1 second, y'all. All right. Here we go. We back. Either it's been thunderstorming today. Every time it rains, I run out in the rain. What's up, Angel Creations? Do I create our own reality? Yeah, there's many realities that you create. How many different dreams do you live in, and like when you go to sleep? This is just one of them, and you affect it to a certain degree. However much you assume you can change it. I mean, but that's a lot of my earlier talks. I don't really feel like going on that right now, even though the title of this is about a perception. So the more that you can manage your perception of reality, the more you can affect it. Oh, Eli, okay, we create our experience on a reality. I would disagree. And I mean, I don't, I mean, experience and reality are quite similar. Then we'd have to play with words. Then we'd have to say experience, reality, and actuality. What is actuality? Does actuality exist? Is reality a redundancy of it? And experience what we perceive? So, yeah, those are fun to play with. I think that was just more of the title, just so y'all can have something to chew on for yourselves. I don't think there's necessarily a correct answer for that. But you stopped paying attention to recurring numbers, and now I don't see them anymore. So what do you pay attention to now, other than that? And how did you choose to do that? You know, Like I got, I the other day, funny enough, I was like, hey, let's pay attention to the color yellow, and all of a sudden the color yellow would pop up. Or I'd say, let's pay attention to certain um, uh, letters or whatever, and those things would pop up. So, attention does have something to do with it. Branches, it's instant and long term. I don't know. I don't think anything's long term. I mean, it seems like the only thing long term is life, and you'd have to decode that word for yourself. Well, I mean, I think you control your word and your worlds. Oh, what up, Just Arizona? You asked for me to do a video on She Legit. Okay. I've done one a long time ago. I'll do that directly for you soon, but the simple answer is you just gotta know the source of it, and you could be getting bullshit, She Legit, but you could also be getting real deal stuff, which apparently it seems to be, if it's actually correct, that it's living, um, organic, basically it's basically to me akin to honey, in the fact that it's completely a living food, but it doesn't die. So it's the honey and the She Legit seems to be connected to immortality to a degree, and it also comes in the idea of black magic and the energies of what some people say the underworld is. Um, there's a lot to do with that, man, and I'll try to put one together whenever, because all of these videos from me are always what spurs me, because this is not scientific by any means, because scientism is silly. This is 100% artwork for me. If it happens to stick and it makes sense to y'all, then chew on it, eat it, uh, digest it, and if it serves you, great. If it doesn't, piss off. But so my videos usually, maybe I'll go a day, and do 4 videos, and then I won't be on for a week, because you know sometimes you got something to say, sometimes you don't, sometimes you're inspired, sometimes you're not. You can't force art. Yeah, Butween. I don't know what you mean about soul contract. I mean, that's up to you, man. If you who are you contracted with? Like, if reality is right now, what are you talking about soul contract? I mean, I've talked about soul contract before, and if you could just banish it right now, you'd be like, I'm done with that piece. Done with soul contracts. I mean, how can you have a contract with a soul if a soul is everything? Can you have spirit contracts? I mean, I think it's just a few questions to ask yourself. Oh, yeah, yeah, Eli Jen. I didn't check that out yet, man. I've been so busy helping somebody out, the kind of one-on-one shit, that that was a lot of energy that I'd put into something. So I'm gonna get to, because I got a bunch of other people sent me some videos too that I haven't checked out yet, but I will check that soon, man. Daniel Benson, you might want to go ask Maya and Jen Abaddon about that, or your boy, what's his name? Shabbat. He does all this stuff on energy work. And there's also one other person that actually did a Vice documentary, very funny enough. Ryan Cropper. You should go ask him about that. Daniel Benson, go ask Ryan Cropper about that. He did a video on that, so he seems to have expertise on this idea. Native American Cyclops. Dimension extensions. Hey, for anybody here who doesn't know, you should check out that video from a few days ago where Kyrie Irving, I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he's a pretty decent basketball player who actually came out and said the Earth was flat, and had this really awesome ceremony with the Lakota tribe, which he's connected to, and he came out like like Aboriginal, like really familia. Just said some awesome things, and so I think that's very interesting. Yeah. You found hey, you found a dollar bill in the porta potty? Well, where do you think you should find money? I mean, what is a dollar bill? Where did it come from? Came from shit to begin with. I mean, that's how the trees were formed, and the trees grew out of the shit, and they say money don't grow on trees, and there it is. Yeah, dimension. Me too. I mean, whiskey. If you're around the right people in the right atmosphere, I mean, whiskey's cool, but like not for me. That's not. It's a little too funky for me, man. I'm not a whiskey drinker. Like I'll have one here or there, but it doesn't really sit right with me all the time. It's like tequila is a lot. Like there is something to do with. If anybody's seen the movie, oh man, Kingsman and Kingsman 2. The second one is really interesting about the alchemy of certain types of I mean, it's kind of a background thing, but not really, because there's like the British kind of Kingsman, and there's the American Kingsman, and the Kingsman from America, the America is a whiskey brewery. And then if we get a little deeper into the culture and the history of whiskey versus tequila, and then you have like a real true Aboriginal shit, it's kind of an interesting take on it. Well, Sydney, I would say, where were you? Yeah, I think that's a very fine question. What do you think? Where do you think you go after? Where do you go when you go to sleep? I don't know. It seems like you can't really you can't even imagine not being having consciousness. It's an impossibility. Anybody says they can do it, good luck. I mean, if you can, great. You couldn't imagine, because your imagination will never cease to exist. Wherever it came from, so be it. Accept it and enjoy it, and use it for your benefit and for your friends and for people you don't like too. You know. Yeah, the baseline alcohol is vodka, and that's cleansative. And then anything with additions to it are adding something to your into your being. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Here. What's funny about city, when you say that, when you said think of no existence, I live in New Orleans, and it's called No, N-O, La, NOLA, No La La Land. Even though they say we're in Louisiana, which is La, and La is L, but it's called No L. So No L is Christmas. It's Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is connected to Satan and the underworld, black magic, and really Hollywood too, because of the Holy Tree, and because LA is both here and in Los Angeles, California. But then we could get farther back into the original Hollywood was on the other 33rd degree parallel, 180 degrees on the other side of the planet, or the plane. If you look where Hollywood is now, and you look, here's another little lesson in geometry. Go look at a map. Go look at the latitude of 33, or is it longitude? Excuse me. I forget which one it is. But nonetheless, Hollywood, California is on the 33rd, for whatever reason that might be, but we could all probably figure that one out. And if you go to the other side, straight across, what you'd find is the original media, or the Medes, the magicians, which came from Medes, is on the 33 parallel on the other side, which gets very interesting. Yeah, the holy days. Well, holy days could be, we could see that the funny thing about the English language is we could decipher that as a whole, as in a zero, or a whole, as in all of it. It means the emptiness or the everything. And days, well, I mean, hey, I mean, when are we not in this like whole days of experience? Like, it's all, and we're all producing it. What's up? What's up, DPL? Yeah, here's your money next to a shit or butane. I just seen that right there. Sometimes I'm scrolling back through. Yeah, Saturnalia. Yeah, see, I mean that's just the thing is like everybody wants to blame Saturn for everything, and they want to blame blah blah blah, and like it's just one of the realms, one of the energies. There's so many more things that we participate in besides Saturnalia. Just because sometimes you see yourself out there having a beverage or doing some Saturnalian worshiping. I mean, and the word isn't even worshiping, but like involving yourself in that. You're involved in many other of the spheres of energy. Whether you play with Mercury and or you play with the healing staff, which would be a little different than Mercury because communication and money is connected to Mercury and movement, and then you have the healing staff, which is the rod of Asclepius, which is connected with But even that is it's all intertwined with the Isisian cults and all of this shit, man. I mean, it's all the same web, right? I mean, the matrix is the matrix, and there's many forms and levels to the matrix. People think it's just one thing. People really believe that. I'm gonna go grab myself the red wine matrix. Give me 1 second, y'all. We must whisper out here. So let's explain the matrix again for people that are very new to this, and even people that are familiar with this, because I don't think I've ever really covered this too in depth for people, because I think people just think the matrix is one thing. It's not. There's many mothers. There's many moons. There's many suns. There's many daughters. There's many energies. There's many planets. And so when we say the matrix, one of the first times that I was able to glean the cube or glean information out of one of the matrices was when I was dipping through an astral realm, just kind of off of the coast of consciousness, meaning that I was getting out of body, and I was able to hear a certain set of frequencies, and dipped out of body and then got back into body. And as I was getting back into my body, I could see the red spectrum outside, like in the sky, as a geometry in the sky. And so that's one matrix. I mean, you could see multiple of them at the same time, but you dip through these different matrices. Somebody could think of it this way: you could walk into a city, and if you have the lenses of, say, a banker, then everything you look at is money. And if you have the lenses of a, you know, um, I think of it this way: I used to build houses, and I was very much into feng shui, and I used to cook a lot, and I still do all of these things. But so if I go into a restaurant, I immediately notice the smells, the taste, the textures, the colors, and I look at the building, and I'm like wondering how I can fix something in there or change it to be better, to advance it. And no matter what kind of so if I walk in there, and if all I knew was the hammer, if all I knew was plumbing, I would wonder about the plumbing. If all I knew was one aspect, that's what I would look at. And so my perception would be built around that one thing. So we build these matrices. If I know nothing about the English language, if I know next to nothing, then how can I relay my experience to people? If I know nothing about how automobiles work, but if I know how automobiles work, and I know how I build a house, and I know how cooking works, and I know how music works, and I know scales and octaves, then all of a sudden I can interlace this interwoven, with this webbing of a story that is all allegory for each other. To be able to d- to have analog synthesizers, to have an analog synthesizer for all of the different dimensionalities, or speak to different kinds of. Because if I say dimensions, I'm saying demons. I'm saying demons in Zion. I'm saying I'm illusions of demons, meaning denominations. If I know the dollar bill, the $50 bill, the $20 bill, the $100 bill, I can speak in different languages to different people. And I can do the same thing by knowing how to frame out a house, as well as do the plumbing, as well as cook you a dinner, and also know how acupuncture works on your body. It just so happens I know those things. So I can speak to people from many, many different backgrounds. It's code switching. And that code switching is walking through different realms. And those realms are made of different archetypes, and those archetypes are connected to planets, which are connected to your energies within your body. So let me scroll back through history, what you had to say. Yeah, all planet worshipping holidays. Yeah, but again, yeah, but you mean, so remember, it's not worshipping. We're trying to get away from that kind of concept, because worship is not to war over a planet. It's to work with the planet to use the energy for its effectiveness, effective use of planet. So if you say a planet, well, if I get rid of one letter out of planet, I get plant. And the E is silent anyway, so a planet is full of plants. And plants are always useful. The most wise of the teachers will tell their student, go out and find me a plant that that I can't use. Go find me something that can't become medicine, and the student will search forever, because you will never be able to find a plant, no matter how toxic you believe it is. It has panacea in it. So there's that idea of thinking there is some sort of evil or death to any of the planets or energies, because they seem to all be living. So if they all had just a bad side, they'd be dead. But they're not. Even the Mars, even the planet of war, is still living, not because it's warring, but because it's full of life. It's perception of the planet. Yeah, some people Saturdays aren't a day for them. Yeah, Eli Jen, I love that. Um, who was it that said, oh, it was Bob Marley, an interviewer asked him, are you a rich man? He's like, a rich man. He's like, yeah, like, you have a lot of money. He's like, a rich man, like money. Money is counted in numbers, and numbers are ever, there's never ending. So if I believed that I'd be rich through numbers, then I would always be searching for something. But his richness doesn't come from money. Melanin and energetic cooperation. Yeah, melanin is connected to the darkness. The darkness is connected to melatonin. So, melatonin magic and melanin. It's a root word, and um, you're just dealing with darkness. And the darkness is not actually dark. The more sunlight that you've gotten in your eyes and in your system, the darker your eyes become. The more sunlight you get on your skin, the darker you become. But you become stronger, and you can actually start to see in the dark, because you're capturing and holding light. You might look black. Look at a tree. A tree throws shade everywhere. But if you put a match to it, it is on fire, because it's built of fire. It's made of fire. The reason a tree exists is because it is fire. It's just stagnant. It's just holding itself into place. It's made of basically pulp, water, and fire. And the water is actually the fuel as hydrogen, and the pulp is just what ends up becoming a tiny, like you knock down a tree that's tens of thousands of pounds and let it burn. It's hot. But where's all the water? The water's gone, because it's using the hydrogen and then you're left with a tiny little bit of ash. And that ash is next to weightless, basically. But it was full of energy of fire because it collected the energy of the sun. Yeah, Saturn, Buteman, I got you. Yeah, I guess, but every day is right now. You know, if you're a meat eater, I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to eat meat on a Saturday? Because wouldn't Saturn be more of like connected to the consumption of such things, Saturnalia, and everything connected to that blackness, the Undertaker, death, and all of that? Wouldn't Saturday be the day you should eat meat? I mean, unless of course you follow the, um, you know, if you get into the Hebrew thing, well, you know, the day that that's why they take Saturday off. But then the Sunday for the Christians is the day off. But if you listen to Neville Goddard, the time that you take off of doing the work is any time you want to. Like if all I need to do is sit here and meditate and put myself into Sabbath. Sabbath should occur on Saturday or Sunday. Well, my Sabbath occurs on Wednesday if I want it to. Why wouldn't it? If you understood what the word Sabbath means, take your Sabbath whenever you feel like you should. Because there's always a moment and a time for creation and to plant a seed. Planting a seed doesn't always happen on a Saturday or Sunday. Far from it. That's just based on a Gregorian calendar, that you would even think Saturday and Sunday exist. Because if you ask the Mayans, what would they tell you? They would give you a whole calendar, and you'd have to use a whole bunch of different words and different systems. So their level of timing would be much more accurate. So that I say, get rid of your idea of Saturday and Sunday, unless of course you are living for the weekend. You've only met one person who really wanted money and not what the money gets you. Yeah, I hear you on that, man. I think everybody knows that kind of person, you know. Money is so far down the line of tools. It's great to have, and I don't think we should, not how to put it. Like money is not the root of all evil, but it sure as hell fucking assists in the, and even saying evil and saying that it's that's a slippery slope to like, it's just another tool in the whole arsenal that we have. And I'm even saying arsenal is, that would be even kind of troublesome for me to even use the word hell or arsenal. But money is what it could be and what it should be and what it was is not necessarily what it is today, but hopefully it's getting back to there, which is a is it's connected to AU and the gold standard and trusts and bonds and things like this. So that's a whole nother lesson in and of itself, and I think most people are familiar with that. But you know the love of money is silly. The love of the earth and and the people upon it. If money can help you help them, then so be it. Then go get that money. Go get that money and help them people out in your city. Help them people out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Because as much as a hug is lovely, and you can make somebody's day just by shaking their hand or giving them some love and some contact with the human energy system. Uh, shit. A couple hot meals and a roof over their head and all this. That's gonna go a long way. And unless you're a real smooth motherfucker with your language, uh, you can't really do that for people unless you have a couple dollars in your pocket to make sure that they're kept for, and taken care of. So there is an interesting thing there. Yeah. Yeah, Saturn and retrogrades for sure, man. Dimension extensions. You've seen some entities hovering in the sky. No, earlier today, me and Umi were walking around, and there's these awesome clouds in New Orleans, and we're like, "Oh, how beautiful they are today," because they're all lit up from different directions. And we looked over and we seen this cloud. I was like, "Hey, doesn't it look like a guy, just like a entity in the sky?" And she's like, "Yes, it does." We just started laughing because it just looked familiar to both of us. It was just part of this cloud that kind of like the clouds were they weren't the left to right clouds; they were the up and down clouds, and they were all lit up orange and yellow and all of these different beautiful colors. And yeah, so like the entities in the sky and the entities of all these things, like I dig them. I dig them. Just Arizona, you see me writing a book. Like I've said before to a lot of people, because I've written a book. I've gotten 100 pages in writing a book many times, and it just the information that I have is it just keeps compounding itself and becoming more and more that it would just it'd be the never ending story, and I wouldn't know where to. I would need somebody to basically um, write my biography. You know what I mean? And I'm not a biography about me per se, just the information that I have. Like somebody else would have to do it because I can't, because it's an overwhelming amount of shit to know and to organize it properly in the way that it would flow. Like I can get to a certain point and it's just like, man, there's just too much. So if somebody wanted to do it, hey, have fun at it. I mean, I've put that offer out there in many ways, in many different facets to people, many different fashions. Um, so if somebody wanted to do it and they think they could, earn themselves $1 and get a book deal or whatever off of writing, 1,000 pages on the introduction to or introductory system of Zen mathematics, so be it. I'd work with somebody, but. How you mean you quantum jumped in a dream? That's cool. What's up, Emma? What you doing? What's up, Cephalus Sanchez? What's going on? And no, eating meat isn't bad per se. No, it just depends on where you live and what you're doing. You know? Yeah. Dimension extensions. I had a burger day. I'm fine. Yeah, it's all in relative value. If you get into Neville Goddard's work and his teachers and everything is of God. So if you think it's bad, then it's bad. If you think it's good, it's good. But you know, there's no need to unnecessarily murder shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I've certainly eaten meat, and I will probably continue to eat meat through my whole life. It's not a daily thing. It's not even a weekly thing. It's sometimes whenever if an occasion calls for it. You know, ask the mind in Abaddon. We consume death to bring it back to life. I mean, I can't just take that dead piece of meat on a plate and be like, come back to life, piggy, or whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't work that way. It takes a little bit of a process, but um, yeah. DPL, can we perceive and observe without lenses? Not at all. How could you? What would your perception of observation be? If you didn't have lenses, then you wouldn't be able to correct for things. It would all be the same to everyone, and everybody would be infinitely God, and we'd be, back to the place of like, okay, can we define things and put some angles on things, and that's what lensing is. I mean, yeah, I get the negative belief systems and programs and filters. I mean, that's what we're talking about is get rid of the programs that don't serve you, get rid of the filters that you don't need. But filters, just like your organs and things in your body, they're filtering things out that you don't need. It's a to be a breatharian and just breathe the cleanest of oxygen and do no harm per se, if whatever harm is, get to harmony or whatever. You're living in a world filled with millions of other people, and their sine waves and interference patterns and everything that's going into your reality tunnel. Like you just get to digest that. So it's all about digestion of things. to take apart the things that put something in your system, take it apart, and take what you need and leave everything else. I've been to the point of doing the almost damn near breatharian thing, and it just didn't really seem to change anything for myself or for anybody around me other than to it was just it was too much. I mean, I think it's for some people. I mean, maybe I'll revisit it, but I don't think it's gonna, to get rid of all of your ingestion is not, it's not gonna make a lot of sense. It might take a little while. You get there, but to get rid of all of your lenses and all of your programs and all of your filters, you'd be left with with nothing. If you have a computer, you got to throw some programs on it, right? Or else it's useless. You can have the most perfected computer. Until you load a program, then you don't have a reality. That would be emptiness. Cymatics is dimensions. Right on, Sydney. Yeah. But Beween, the only thing that higher consciousness doesn't necessarily require not having meat because there's plenty of shamans that live in cold climates that the only food choice they have is um, what's underground and the blood of an animal. Uh, I'm not saying it's better or worse, but I think for most people they don't need it. I think we're at a place right now most people don't need it. So yeah, I'm agreeing. I think most people shouldn't eat meat. I mean, most of the thing that I put out is like, dude, you gotta water fast, you gotta drink some piss, you gotta eat fruits and vegetables and cleanse. But for anybody that isn't there yet or lives in a climate that doesn't allow for it, then maybe meat eating is part of their process because I don't think everybody has to be at the same place at the same time because if you got to the same place at the same time as someone else, reality would implode or no explode or some shit because you can't two atoms can't exist in the same place at the same time. So we're all on this path, this journey, or it's a you're just in your octave, you're in your level, you're in your harmonic that you're at, and if that happens to include meat, well, so be it. I've learned too much from Neville Goddard, and I've learned too much from Abdullah. Basically, Neville did this in a very similar way, and also, look at one of the Herman Hesse. Look at Siddhartha. Look at that book. That book was genius. Like, you got to go through the realms and the levels. Like, I tried real hard to just be straight. Like, oh, I'm gonna clean diet, vegetarian, all this. It didn't really assist. I mean, it assisted me in the long run, but not in the, you know. I think you'll find where you need to be. What's up? What's up? Mof Radio. Yeah, thanks for the melanin. Always, I'm giving you that. Yeah, give you that dark matter, the dark arts, the light that comes out of the dark arts. Yeah, so DPL, I think I answered that. Are we gonna have some kind of filter? Yeah, I think you always do, no matter what it is. I don't care if you got the complete mind of what you'd consider God. There's got to be a filter, because if you considered yourself God, then you have a filter of what you think God is. Yeah, Eli Jen, I've seen either just drink liquids or just eat whatever. Yeah, I'm somewhere in between that. Um, Sometimes I just will drink liquids for a very long time, and sometimes I'd be like, fuck this, I'm just eating whatever I want. Uh, they both serve me whenever they need to, and the people I'm around, because I can't just eat, I can't just drink liquids around people that are eating, and I can't just meditate and fast on oxygen while people are eating a giant meal. You gotta kind of participate. Eggs, bread, and sauerkraut equal. Hey, branches. Eggs, bread, and sauerkraut equal a lot of farts. That's what that equals. Equals farts. And no, but on the real though, um, a delicious sandwich for sure, and and it's gonna move things through your system because the sauerkraut's gonna help digest all the bread, and the eggs are gonna be easily digestible. So it's gonna be delicious. I'm sure. I'd add a little hot sauce and tomato, a little onion, uh, some lettuce, and a little bit of mayonnaise, because you can't go wrong with mayonnaise on a sandwich. What's up, is that Chrono? Yeah, you gotta. Academia is it means trivial. Academia is actually rooted in the word trivia, and the word scholar is rooted in a deepening of insight towards some sort of like understanding or overstanding or understanding. Scholarship is difficult. Academia is what most people do. You know, you got to learn this to get that, and that's academia. I mean, there's no doubt that academia serves people and helps, but it's like you wanna if anybody can name this the beginning of this song, I'll send you something really cool. It's the beginning of the song. My dude says, "My father hated driving a bus, but he loved 5 kids." And also the beginning of the song, Spike Lee. It's called Church. Wake up, it's reality. Open up your eye cracks. Anybody? So the idea here is this. Here, I'll give you one more from the album. My grandma told me if you ever need a if you ever need a nickel, ask for a dime. You know, remember that? Anybody? Ah, somebody might have answered that. I'm gonna get to that in a second. So the concept here is really. Mm, let me get to the bottom and see if somebody answered that. A really good hangover cure. Yeah, there you go, butane. That is a good hangover cure. That sandwich we were just talking about, sauerkraut, is a great hangover cure. Just drink the sauerkraut juice. You're being right there. Yeah, the digestion window is great. Yeah, man. Yeah, smiling at people is one of the greatest things you can do. And Buteween, you were talking about the clean air. There's this really good song. It's called by it's the group is called the Clean Air Movement, yeah, the Fresh Air Movement. Excuse me, FAM, Fresh Air Movement. You should look it up. Coda Slab, say I got you. Never got it is yeah. You know what? It's I love voices. Buteween, you know this, and Neville Goddard's voice is like it just is. Mm. I like Napoleon Hill, but there's something special about Neville Goddard's voice. Yeah, yeah. Depending on your body, it determines your health. Symbiosis. Yeah, I got you, Sydney. Yeah, that's for sure. You just got to get things. You got to just get things out of your body that aren't serving your body. Who doesn't like an orgasm? I don't know. Dimension extension. A lot of people out here trying not to have orgasms. I'm like, are you fucking up? You can't overdo it because you're gonna hurt yourself. But she's like, I'm gonna no fap. Yeah, fucking up a little bit. I get it. You gotta hold it. And you gotta be tantric about it. But it's just as important to spread seed. Imagine if I just walking around. Imagine if look if me saying something really important is me busting a nut in the sense that I'm spreading seed, I'm germinating things. Then what if I always just start a story and just go, I'm gonna save the punchline for later, tell a joke and just save it for later. That's rude. That's not polite. It's not polite to yourself or no one else. There you go. Dimension extensions. Dying is important for developing your spirituality, but if you're a master, eat what the fuck you want and program it with love. There you go. Dimension extension. That's it. I can't put that any better myself. Me and my Jim is saying that for a long time. Awaken Bravely is Ocean. I got deleted. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I ain't seen him Wake and Brave in a little bit. I seen him like last month sometime. Yeah. The Wake and Brave has always been. I've always digged them. I don't know. I seen him. Oh, I seen he shaved his beard. I wasn't really a big fan of his shaved beard, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes you clean up, look different. I don't know. A lot of people just you change it up now and then. Shit, who knows how I look next? Maybe I'll put my Fu Manchu back on. Y'all see me looking a little stupid. Whatever. But nah, I mean it's just do what's comfortable for you. Do what makes you happy. If it makes you happy and it's helping other people be happy, fucking do that. And I know, most of what I do makes people happy. Some of what I do pisses people off, but I think my good far outweighs my bad, if there is such a thing. So just find your lane, fit in, and enjoy it. Uh, hey Sydney, you've been contemplating the urine. Are you still on the yuck mode? Man, oh man. You really ain't even that like okay. If you're going to do it, do 1 day. Wake up in the morning, drink distilled water until like 3 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock, if your piss is still pissing you off and it stinks, okay, then you should do some more. But I think that most people, if you've been doing it for 5 months, you should be pretty okay. Your third piss of your day should be decent, at least. And if you can't do it, put a little bit of piss in some fruit juice, put some piss in some water. Just get yourself to even be able to do it, because it's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. Once you take the salt out the urine, it's super easy. Yeah. Oh, dude, I wake up in the morning after I have like a stupid night, like we all out, just like there's the fried foods and there's drinking and there's all the uh, the insanity of evening ventures, and you wake up and you're like, oh, just want to drink my piss, but then you just like look at your piss and like this is not what I need, and it's gonna be salty and skank and stank and funky and whatever. Like that's gonna turn anybody on to piss drinking. Although, uh, by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if I drink enough distilled water, I can drink my piss, and that's as good as anything right there. Yeah, the urine will get rid of your lowest lows for sure. Like it offers so much of the I believe like you're gonna get like precursors for serotonin, which is gonna balance you out. Yeah, it's like a clean cocaine for sure. Like clean, like the highest quality. Thank Branches. Yeah, this is correct. Are we hungry or looking for the finest point of consuming information? Or we're addicted to information? Yeah, you shouldn't be addicted to information. Although we live in an informational realm, which is everything is information. Information, right? So this is the old saying that gets tripped around in silly ways, to take chaos and turn it into order. In the best ways, it is the highest of knowledge, but in the worst ways, it's people that cause chaos to turn into order. And that information is order. It means to make an order. It doesn't matter what it is. You can order anything in the way any way you want it. You go to McDonald's, you can make an order. You go to a fine dining establishment, you make an order, and that's called information, to formate something. So, just yeah, don't get addicted to it. Just like don't get addicted to going to even. I don't get addicted to good food. I don't get addicted to bad food. And the last real addiction I have is like, no, don't get even addicted to thought, because then all you have to think about is thoughts. Like, but you can't really get rid of that. You can't really get rid of your imagination. So you just kind of work with it, and every time if you don't like what you're getting, order something new. Yeah, soda's gonna fuck you up for sure with your piss. Eli John, you said Kool-Aid is the worst for your piss. I think that's probably what they talk about, drinking the Kool-Aid, huh? Do you drink it warm? Yeah, you drink it immediately. If you let it sit for more than 15 minutes, it's not gonna be any good. And you could, yeah, you just drink it immediately. What's up, Alexandra Hafner? Yeah, there you go, Elijah. And you teach yourself. Like if you do, if you, that is your karma. That is literally exactly. If anybody wants to know, if anybody wants to know what karma is, it's literally karmic. It means car or arc or carnivorous. It means the energy that you consumed. It's the mother, karma, the arc of the mother. So if the night before you ingested a lot of shit. When I say shit, I just mean, material you really shouldn't be putting in your system. In the morning, you're going to find out what your karma is. And if your piss tastes bad, well, there's your karma. Taste it. Drink down the piss. You out there wilding out, doing some shit. Yeah, so be it. I mean, I've drank my piss in the morning plenty of times. Like, this is what I get, and then you're not gonna want to do that next time, are you? I know it'll keep you off that. What's up, ultrasonic? I don't know about the nullifying bad chemicals with tones and vibrations and prayer. I believe you can to an extent. Let me. You guys can. Man, oh, you know what? I just figured out I've got the wrong cord in here, and that's why. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure something out together here. As you were speaking about vibrations, I'm adding some energy to my phone, and I'm using the. Let's see if I'm using the right plug here. One of them is going to be having 3 amps being put in my phone, and the other one is 2.3. Let's see here. And let me go piss real quick. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to drink it because I want to go to sleep tonight. If I drink my piss, I'm going to stay up all night because there's energy in it. So, and I'll come back and I'll answer your question, and we'll continue on with this little escapade. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, here you go. Here's your answer to the question about nullifying fluoride and stuff. It's pretty simple. Yes, it can be done. Absolutely. But you have to have faith like a mustard seed. You have to have the same kind of belief you have in the rice experiment. You have to have, because any atomic structure can be broken and any atomic structure can be built. Um, like, look at this. Like right now, there's a bunch of people that come through here, and I got 3 likes. And I'm sure that you guys are liking it more than this. So I'm gonna try to build an atomic structure here. And the atomic structure will be built if more people give me a thumbs up. That way, it doesn't bother me because my channel is very small. I don't really care. But that way, when people come and find the videos, you'll be like, oh, this is a good one. I should listen to this. And it will just encourage them to want to be a stronger version of themselves, a better version of their own reality. And they'll listen to this. And so, in the same way, if I want to build an atomic structure, I could build a fluoride structure. I could build a crystal if I wanted, but I could also break those things. So in water, if there's certain types of minerals and materials, you could break those down to be basically uh, how to put it the right way, they'll have no effect on the body. The half-life, the negative consequences of consuming such things, they just go away because you could break. It's like carbon bonding. It's like if they tell you a diamond is the same thing as a piece of lead, but that carbon is just put into a form that is more structurally sound. It's informed. It goes from black to clear. It's the same thing, but it's just more corrected. You could break it in the opposite direction, correct? So you could break the fluoride bond. You could destroy that, but it'd be easier just to throw it through a distiller. You've already put the look at it this way. You invested say $100 into the energy of a distiller to do the job for you, so you don't have to think about it anymore because you thought so much about something that you decided $100 is what it would cost you to never have to think about that again because you just thought about it so much that you invested your energy and time into $100 or $200 water distilling machine, and then when you get that water out, it's clean. Or you could sit there and every time you drink water, go, I must meditate on this, I must do this. And you know what I do? I don't meditate and think about my water I drink because every time, every time it's in the distiller, because I did my research for years. I put a lot of time into this shit. Like right now, I'm cleaning the water in your minds right now. I'm cleaning the water in your system, and that's why you listen. And I say it in the same way. Like I'm a water distiller for your body and your mind. Is that big upping myself? Is that like egotistical? I don't give a fuck what it is. It just happens to be the truth. The sound of good music is the sound of good music. The sound of my voice is the sound of my voice. The sound of a water distiller and is what it's doing is what it's doing. Removing toxic material from your system. And so you change the way you hold yourself, you change the tone of your voice, you change the structure of your entire being, the atomic system that you are, which is if you really boil it down to what you are made of, you're made of a bunch of sounds and vibrations and atoms, and it's really you're a pretty simple creature, and creator at the same time. Like you are the creator that makes the creature, which is your body. And so there's a system of thought that creates the architect of sound that then creates the structural anatomy of your bones and your organs are making sounds, and we go through this whole game here. So in that way, giving this long story to give you, yeah, you just go ahead and get the water distiller. It'd be a lot easier. It'd be cheaper. You'll spend less time and money and energy. Shungite to purify it. Yeah, there you go. Shungite is excellent too. Yeah, just Arizona. My dog is I don't know how many years anymore. She's immortal, but she only drinks distilled water. Really, I fast her sometimes, and she gets along just fine. She's at this advanced age for her. I think she's 13. Lab pit. She should probably have a lot. She should have some issues, and she doesn't. Is the point. She's the most comfortable animal, and she stays healthy. She eats what she wants. She doesn't eat dog food. She eats what I eat. Dimension extension. Yeah, yeah. Sydney, the gen conception is that urine is waste. What does it mean, gen? The general conception is that urine is waste? Yeah, well, because that nobody's done the research. It's just, you would assume if it expels from your body, it's waste. If I poop, it's waste. If I sweat, it's waste. If I bleed, it's waste. If I piss, it's waste. But that's just not, if I cry, it's waste. Well, tears are actually pretty important considering magic and witchery and things. And if what comes out of your body is waste, then you'd have to consider your hair and your nails to be waste. And your hair and your nails aren't waste. And even the shit that you shit out behind you isn't waste. It's actually growing something out of it. I mean, I wouldn't say to consume it, But that's just because that's poop, and your nose will tell you don't consume that. It's fucking nasty. It's filthy. Don't eat. Don't be a shit eater. But urine, as far as I know, it actually is. It tastes better than most products that I consume. So that's what leads me to believe the smell of it when I'm eating well is pretty good because it is my blood, and even my urine, or excuse me, even my sweat doesn't taste bad. Animals come and lick me because they want the salts. That's what some people will say. That's not what they're looking for. That's something else completely. Oh, Elijah and the electrical storms. Yeah. Um, Whenever I'm at Orange Beach, they happen like every other night. It's awesome. I never seen pink lightning, but I guess that'll be soon. There you go. There you go, Daniel Benson. There is no final answer to reality. A period. Yeah, yeah. You don't even have to question that. You're gonna keep creating something, and that's just yeah, yeah. You make the question, then you give yourself the answer. What's up, Luciana? Yo, hey yo, hey yo in the building, yo. Thank you for remembering, Luciana. Good to see you. Cucumbers are good for fluoride. Yes. What happens when you get the final answer? Final answer? Final answer? What's up, Tillin Gorsick? Good to see you, man. You took my advice. Hey, Lucianne, what was my advice? I don't remember what it was. I tell people a lot of different things. I'm glad you took my advice. It spoke to you and you did it. That's cool. I'm glad everything sounds better. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of acoustic resonance in my. I get a lot in my left ear. My right ear is a little different. I get a lot of sound in my left ear though. Eli Jen, the no question thing is interesting. Like, what is why form a question at all? And once you form a question, then you got to find an answer. But if you just have an experience, it's a different thing. Yeah. Well, thank you, Branches. I don't know. Live the universal one of everything. Sydney, I got you. But technology is man-made. But what's the original technology? Man. So if man made it, then isn't it not? Is it not part of the God nature? If God made man so man could become God, then what is everything that man makes? It would seem to be God. And when I say God, I mean universal architectural blueprints of all of reality that is only a slowed down version of what our mind is doing, anyways. So I would say to you, in much the same way I'd say it to myself, Sydney, the only way you can hear me right now is through technology. Without technology, you would never hear me, and whatever you think I am, and my words and my vibration, because while we could meet on the astral realm, while we could speak through telekinesis, this is easy. This is easy if you're really at that point. We can't all do it all the time. Not even I can do this all the time. Like, well, this. I mean, that kind of, getting out of body, I can't do all the time. Speaking through telekinesis or using verbal cues without using language, signatures and sign. Like, you can't always do this. So, technology, even though it's just a slowed down version of kinesis work, of telekinesis, of any type of communication. Technology is only what the human was designed to do in a reality that allowed us to have an experience, an experience that was elongated, meaning When I say elongate, what I mean to densify something. So we densified an experience and then use technology to extract it or extrapolate it. Does that make sense? And I know I'm a little behind here, guys. Let's see, 147, and we're at. Okay, I'm not that far behind. Oh yeah, cilantro is some real good stuff. That's very good. Yeah. You shit pebbles. Eli Jen, maybe just I'll make a video. Like I made a video a while ago about like dog food and stuff. I mean, I don't know. And some people ain't gonna listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the fit for everyone. You know, people's parents and shit like that. Like, some people do not want to fuck with Zen, the Zen Meister, the Zen man. Uh, you know, I will make a video about that if you thought it might help, but I would just say like, do you think dogs in nature would eat this shit? Do you think animals like if you put shit pebbles or dog pebbles out there in nature, like no animal would eat them. It's fucking crack. There's chemicals and poison in it. And if animals in nature wouldn't eat it, and would your parents eat it? You know, but then how far gone are they into the system? So that's just, you know, that you can't really trade that in. You know, you could do some experiments, but like, hey, if I put these dog pebbles or this raw meat in front of this, or if I put some raw milk in these pebbles here, if I put, you know, any kind of food, what are they going to choose? Well, I don't know. I don't know how deep is the animal drugged, because dog food is a drug. Because I know I've taken like I've let someone watch my serious dog star, and if there's cat food or dog food on the floor, she'll sniff it out like a drug and eat it. I think she's eating it so the other animal won't eat it, honestly, because her diet is fucking supreme. Like, she eats the best of the best shit, and I think she just eats it to get rid of it, or just because she's a little crackhead. I don't know. Maybe it's something like when she was like a puppy, before I got her, she ate a lot of like nasty ass dog food, and you know, for the first couple months that I had her, I didn't really know what diet to feed her, and so maybe there was some sort of but nonetheless, the idea is like an animal could be just as chemically dependent because there's chemicals in that. Arizona, I don't need to read faster. I just need to answer questions faster, but I like telling stories. Um, Ultrasonic, the best water distiller? Well, I have two different ones. And I have the Mega Home, which is $200. And I have this one that's like, I don't know, $95. The Mega Home is very loud, but it has very good parts in it. And I've had it for many, many years. I don't know, maybe 6 years, 7 years. And it hasn't given me any problems. It's loud, gets the job done, and it has thick steel in it. It hasn't pitted out yet. It hasn't got any stains in it. And it works magnificently. But then I have this other one that I've had for maybe 2 years, a year and a half. And it has very thin steel in it, but it's very quiet, and it gets through a gallon quicker. So like the Mega Home, it might take 4.5 hours. I might be wrong in the math here, but I think it takes about 4.5 hours, where the other one takes about 3.5 hours. But I get the sense that the chintziness is gonna burn it out quicker, because you know, once in a while I'll get a little like fucking like a spot on it, because I can tell they use like what 16 gauge metal. I mean, I guess that's how they measure it. I know that's how they do it with like wire. So it's yeah, it's thin gauge steel. I think 16. If they do use the same mathematics, 16 gauge, where the other Mega Home uses like probably 12 gauge. Like it's a little thicker. Nonetheless, it just depends if you want to spend an extra $100 to risk it, and if you want something loud versus quicker and might die out in 2 years. So there you go. Just get on Amazon. You only got like 4 different products to choose from on Amazon, and it's gonna be anywhere between 90 and 250. And then there's a couple that are really super high deluxe, next level stainless steel, 5 gallons in 10 hours kind of shit. And I don't think anybody really needs that unless you got a big family. And those are like $800. Yeah, Eli Jen. Oh, the puppy you talking about? Yeah, I mean, you get rid of some of the health problems. You just gotta change the diet, man. Uh, yeah, the cod liver oil. That just think of what a dog would eat in nature. You know what I'm saying? Like it really does come down to that. The cod liver oil is good. You can find different kind of oils because I don't think a dog is really fishing for cod. Think about that. Oh, nice. You get the 4 year warranty on it. Cool, cool. Cod liver is gonna work. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, yeah. Technology is artificial, but it is also a redundancy of what we're doing anyways. Like you could say a clay pot is artificial, wouldn't it be? Wouldn't anything that man does, like cooking food, is artificial, right? A piece of artwork is artificial. Well, that's called art official. Art of fish oil. Check that one out. So we just played with the cod oil. So then we can talk about art of fish oil. It's like the fish oil salesman and the snake oil salesman. There's plenty of reason to have art of fish oil. So in that sense, technology or tools are meant to only induce a, because right now you got a lot of people out here like, oh, the moon and the sun, they're artificial. The moon was parked there. I mean, we get into the ancients. They said the moon was parked there by someone. Maybe it was, but it's doing something. It still has a purpose. It still is doing something. So, you could sit under a bodhi tree. You could sit under a tree and then go off and eat the things off the tree. And as soon as you would use your opposable thumb to do anything besides just eat the fruit, it seemed to be artificial. And look at our history. We didn't need technology. Sydney, I'm gonna continue on here. I know I'm a little behind here. Yes, we did need technology. A pencil is technology. Your language is technology. Let's get real deep here. Um, for you to do anything, it requires spoken language, words, a way to speak from mouth to ear to recreate an emotion and an image inside someone's skull. And from there, what we do is recreate through dance and through textures and through sounds and sights and all of this. We create something that passes down information to another generation. And someone came along and decided that we could simplify the process by using the letter or the written word to try to identify something that is almost unspeakable, which is experience. And, and so we took what we'd call technology, which is called a tool, TOOL, and we turn it into what we'd call loot, LOOT, which is money or currency. So currency, which is energy, is held within technology or loot or tools to recreate recreation, to create again an environment or a feeling or an idea or a principle of energetics or an image that would then portray some sort of past event to a future culture to allow them to see something in a way that would instill a certain feeling or distill knowledge to a point that the next generation could reductively or deductively, depending on their perception, reductively or deductively perceive reality in a new way because of what was handed down by the ancestral knowledge. The capacity to recreate any kind of environment, and that's power. That's that's powerful beyond belief, and it takes technology to do that. And so the first thing that you think of as technology, you think of somehow, probably, I'm guessing, is something as a physical format outside of the body, but yet the first technology is to use words in this way. Now, for me, I'm not speaking English. Everyone here probably believes that I'm using the English language. It just so happens that I'm speaking through English, but I'm channeling English through using my vocal cords in such a way that I'm speaking from my nuts, you call them my testicles or my balls, and my bowels, and also my heart, and also my throat, and also my mind. So I'm speaking five different levels right now, and it just apparently it appears, it seems that through the lenses that I have, I'm able, and I have a capacity to speak in what appears to you as English. But I guarantee if someone were to listen that didn't even know English, they'd know that what I was saying was the truth. And truth means nothing. I mean, it does come from word tooth, like tooth and now. But uh, it's like why we'd say, oh, We say, and there's a certain frequency that's being spit out there to make a cymatic or a reference point to create a you'd look at it as a flat surface, but it's actually in three dimensions. But you could look at a two-dimensional surface to create an image, which is also a feeling. Because if I hit you with a C note that was in perfect harmony, if I was like singing like Adele, or maybe maybe Beck, or maybe like these certain singers that people like, that's hitting certain organs in their body and it's vibrating. But if I hit the wrong key or the wrong note, it's not going to make any sense. But I'm speaking through octaves and through rhythms, which are actual technologies that are based inside of the English language, as well as the more ancient languages, Hebrew and Sanskrit and Tamil, and those are my three favorite ones to speak of. But I think it's interesting. So those are languages also, which are part of technology. Yeah, goat milk is good as long as unpasteurized. Do I fuck with Qigong? Yeah, probably. Spring water is gonna do fine, dimension extensions, but distilled is gonna be way better. Yeah, Sydney, I'm on board with you. I hear what you're saying. I mean, technology ain't shit. Technology in 30 years is not gonna be. It's gonna be exactly the same. Like you're either gonna use a fake artificial technology, you're gonna learn to use your mind. So you'll be actually using telekinesis, like the way that you do in the dream world. All the shit you can do in the dream world, you can do here, including levitate and fly. So I fly and levitate in pretty much every single one of my dreams. And I use telekinesis. I can use my phone in the dream world. I use my phone, I use television, I read books, I do all sorts of shit they say you can't do, but I know you can do it. Yeah, Sydney, I don't know about CERN, and I don't know about, in the sense of this. Like, are you sure you're not already in that artificial matrix? And I think that's just a larger, fun little thing to play with, because who cares either way? Because I've had this argument, and it's not even an argument. I just have this conversation with people, and they're like, "Well, maybe you're already in an art." Well, I'm having an experience, and I already have a feeling, and I already have emotions, and I already have like images, and I already have all. It doesn't matter where I am because I'm having this experience, and so. Therefore, I would like to enjoy it, and I'd like other people around me to enjoy it. So I don't really care what CERN is doing, because if CERN is doing, I'm not paranoid about CERN. I'm pronoid about CERN. If CERN is real and they're actually doing something with reality, the only way that CERN is affecting my reality is if I believe they are. So that would go into like two steps deeper, right? Unless you believe there's an overarching reality and that there's somebody out there doing it. And I wouldn't believe so. I believe we're all interconnected. And so if I want CERN to do something good for reality, they'll do it. Why wouldn't they? What if what everybody here didn't know is that I'm the grand architect of our reality? What if you didn't know that? What if you're talking to the lead scientist from NASA right now? What if you knew that? Would you have a different opinion of NASA? Would you have a different opinion of CERN? What if I'm a leading rep for, say, a multimedia conglomerate? Um, what if I was, oh, I don't know, controlled the major airwaves of, what if I did all that? Then wouldn't I be controlling your personal, like right now, what you think is going on? So then CERN isn't of your concern. Zen should be of your concern, because you're sitting here sub to my channel. You think there's a few people on here, but who knows? They don't have like 20 other channels that are way bigger than this. I mean, you wouldn't know. How could you know? What if I'm just like a digital imaging of something? And they're, yeah, who's grooming us for what, Sydney? Who's they and who are us? And am I not they? Am I not us? I would put they and us together and see what you come up with. Take those letters and play with them. Tap water is definitely pretty bad. Thank you, Sydney. Yeah. Oh shit, for real? Yeah, I can read in my dreams. I look at my phone. I play with all sorts of shit in my dreams. I was told that you couldn't do it, and I was like, man, I'm reading in my dreams. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I can zoom in on words. I was read. I actually got a couple. I can see. Well, there's a lot of other shit I can do in my dreams, but we ain't gonna go there. But we'll do it another times that chrono. There's lots of crazy shit. I'm like, it's like it's so strange. I mean, it's not strange to me. It's like, oh, of course. It's vivid too. Eli Jen, I don't believe the soul is in the body. I mean, I think the body is part of the larger soul. But if I say that, then the soul must be within every atom. Uh, have a beautiful night, Arizona. Dimension extension. Depression means deep rest. It means you need to relax, take a nap. The more energy you expend, the more that you need to have deep rest. If you had $1 million right now, you'd be a lot less deep rest unless you spent it all tonight. Then you'd be very depressed that you just spent $1 million. But if you had $100, well, how would you become depressed? Why would you? And I'm using the currency value system, meaning if you had money. But what about just energy in your body? I could have no money in my pocket, but go out filled with energy, meaning I drink my piss, or I go eat some fruits, or maybe I've had a beer. I don't fucking know. But if I go out filled with energy, then maybe I come home. I left my house with zero money. Zero money is in my pocket, and then I was feeling good about my day, and I came home and I had $25 in my pocket, and I had a nice night. Maybe met a lovely lady, and had a good dance party, blah blah blah, and I came home richer than I was when I left. What was that? How did that work? Um, that was that was the that was energetics. But if you go out and you have money to burn, money to spend, or currency or energy, what you're left with afterward is, how do you regain energy? You go into a deep rest. Um, you'd go into the melanation or the melanin. You'd either go into the sunlight, and if you're out in the sunlight all day, it's gonna charge you up, but you're gonna be sleepy. You're gonna be sleepy if you go out in the sun all day. You're gonna have to go back into the realm of darkness. If I go to sleep at night, I wake up in the morning, I'm recharged. So where did I go? I went to darkness. I went to a deep rest, and I woke up after deep rest, and I was excited about life again. Yes. How do I know I'm not my brain? Because, well, I know I'm not my brain for many, 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 many reasons. One is actually, if I'm just take the scientific community standpoint, I would say like they can cut your skull open and prod and poke at your brain and say the gray matter doesn't feel anything. I also know I'm not my brain because I've had my brain filled with shit from, say, teachers and governments and media and parental guidance figures and friends and blah 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 blah. Like just people just talking shit, and I know that's not what I am. I'm barely my actions because sometimes we act out things that we've seen on TV or replay events in our past, in our history, our lives, and it's just things that are going on in computing things. But I also know that I fasted and I've watched my body change. And as my body changed, my experience changed. My brain seems to be the same size. It hasn't got bigger, it hasn't got smaller. I can't really see it. It just seems to be a housing of things. But I experience what tends to be outside of me, and I experience what my body seems to hold. Not really what's going on in my head. The only thing I have in my head is two eyeballs that I kind of get a little bit of an idea about. When I go to sleep at night and I close my eyes, I can see things and I can feel things, I can hear things, I can do all this. I'm like, where's that coming from? Where is that? And I center it, I don't know. Sometimes I center it at my balls, sometimes in my feet. Imagine that. If I centering my soul in my feet, sometimes in my throat, sometimes in my nuts, sometimes in my heart. So it really just depends. I think you live your life out in different parts of your system. What's up, Marie? Oh, I like the new picture. Ultrasonic Harataki. What exactly is that? Because I think you sent me this the other day, or you said this to me. Harataki. What is that? Is that like a vegetable or an herb or what? I mean, obviously, it seems like I'm getting into if I say ataki, I'm getting Chinese, sake, et cetera, et cetera. That would be my first guess, or it's a word that's connected to that culture. I'd probably guess it to be some sort of green herb, because usually green herbs are. It's Indian, harataki. Ah, Indian, like the dot. Okay, harataki. Okay, yeah. I should have known that when you said turmeric. As soon as you said turmeric and then said harataki, I should have known. I shouldn't have guessed harataki after you said, yeah. Who's talking to me about camera stealing souls? I don't know that it can steal a soul, Mary. I think it borrows a fractionated spirit. I don't think it takes. You can't take a soul from anything. You can't sell your soul. You can't steal a soul because a soul means SOL, which means everything. It means one solution, soul. It means the sun. It means the enlightened thing. It means I mean, salt is actually the root for solution, which comes from like is water. So I don't know. I don't know you can steal a soul. You can put it on film, which is like water. The thing on top of the water is the film, but that's not. That's just one shortened, refracted version. You know? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get you. Somebody asked me about this the other day too. I don't. Yeah, I get that's. I get why you put it in quotes. I don't think it steals it, but I mean, to steal is to like what steel is. STEEL means that you can steel can rust unless you have stainless steel, but even that gets kind of stained, huh? Um, I think kind of just the idea there is that um, a picture can never give a full view. You always have to square, at least in this reality, what you have is a picture in a rectangle or a square or some sort of. Uh, you can't know what's outside of the screen, and it's so fragmented and momentary. And so I'll give you that much. So we'll do this another time because we're an hour 40 in here, and I'm about half bottle of red wine, and so yeah, Hollywood references a lot of things, but I think a lot of what Hollywood does is tongue in cheek and a joke. But then there's also some like, hey, don't come in our club. But if you came in our club, you'd realize it's not that bad. In fact, they're probably they're probably just joking about most of it. You know, it's like people get pissed at Hollywood, but like, could how many people don't want to live the Hollywood lifestyle? Who really doesn't want to live that? You know, if you could be if you could look like Brad Pitt and fuck Angelina Jolie and also put a mask on and fuck like 100 other beautiful women and have yachts and live on crystal beaches and like you wouldn't choose to do that? Are you fucking retarded? That's called fucking player haters. That's jealousy. That's dog shit. And that's because you don't understand what love is. I will take a minute. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. Exactly, because that's what people don't get. Like, everybody wants the finest things in life until they want to be like, oh no, like, no, I must. That's all a sin. Like, nah, trapped. Okay, hey, okay, we'll get into that. Here, I'll switch it up. But the thing is about Hollywood, though. Come on, you don't know anybody in Hollywood except for maybe, except for maybe me. But don't tell anybody that. That's just for you guys to know. So the trapped energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never a moment alone. I mean, Eli Jin though. You know what? They do have moments alone. They have plenty of moments alone because unless you creeping out, being all fucking up in their business, like I think that they get on an airplane and fucking helicopter and piece the fuck out anywhere they want to go. Paparazzi's making a fucking 82,000 dollars a year with the camera. You got 10.5 million in the bank plus anybody you just make a phone call and be like, yeah, I get the fuck out of here. They're like, all right, where you want to go? You just dip. Fuck paparazzi. Whatever that fucking means. Maybe somebody should do a little piece on what the word papa and razzi means and where that word comes from. Sounds like Big Brother to me, but Big Brother ain't that big. If you the Grandmaster Flash, if you the Grandmaster Flash Gordon, but soul snatching. So once again, Sydney, you can't snatch a soul because a soul can't be snatched. And remember, bitches get snitches get stitches. So if you snatching a soul, and you snitching and snatching. And you know what happened in that movie Snatch with Brad Pitt. Speaking of, Snatch gonna whoop your ass, yo. And he gonna get you in the end, because us gypsies, our GPS units are fucking tapped into everything. So you can't fuck with gypsies. This is our land. You can trap energy to a degree. You can, but that's only momentary. You can't own it. You can't hold energy. You know, once you hold energy, you become a hoarder. You become a hoarder, and all of a sudden you got millions of cats in your house, and you got garbage and newspapers and shit. You become old and you die. you gotta you gotta like the greatest one of the greatest rap groups out there. said KIM, keep it moving. Tribe Called Quest said keep it moving. You gotta move energy. When you move energy, everything lives. When you have a river flowing, everything lives. If you stagnate energy, it dies. Like it doesn't. It becomes a stagnated pile of whatever. So you gotta keep it moving. Yeah, but yeah, you know what the funny thing? And when you hey, Elijah, you say bodyguards. You ever see Jason Momoa? Jason Momoa, that big motherfucker. His two bodyguards are half his size. The only reason for those little bodyguards is just to get people like. Could you imagine being like? Could you imagine being a beast? Like I mean, like a real deal. Like, oh, I mean, Jason Momoa. What's he like? 6'2", 230 pounds of like raw fucking just unequivocal like you're not fucking with this dude. You like I mean what are you gonna do with that? Like sorry I was born 6'8". You know what I'm saying? What if you were Shaquille O'Neal? What would you do with your life? How many choices you got really? Apparently. Well, if you Michael Jordan, what are you gonna do? You're talented beyond all belief. You know what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if you're these people? You ain't got a lot of choices. You just like I don't know how often I've had to reserve myself, but then I go, how come I gotta like fucking belittle and shorten myself because your fucking life sucks? You know when people get mad at me when I walk in a room, I ain't even be doing shit and people get pissed at me. This is real. I would walk out and tell me anybody walks out with me like, oh fuck. Somebody will just look at me and go, what the fuck, and they'll be mad at me. Just got people get fucking mad at me. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do no shit, so fuck it. Okay, fine. I'll give you a reason to be mad at me. Yeah, it's my weekend. Give me another drink at the bar. Let's go. It's funny. Uh, paparazzi is a way for you. So yeah, check up on the minions. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta eat breakfast, man. Oh, you just watched the Gold, hey Marie Mercury. You just watched the Golden Compass. What a great movie. I know. The Demons, the Golden Compass is it's such a good movie, and anyone that hasn't seen this, go check it out. Oh, Marie, damn, yeah, 7 foot tall dude. What the way you said once, the way you said it, the way you did, because you did it twice. You actually said once in a row. You actually said I dated a 7 foot plus dude once. Once is a weird looking word. It is. Ounce. Once is ounce. OUNCE. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's got to be a lot to deal with. I mean, Maria, are you yeah, Oys. What's up, Mofo? I want to call you Mofo Radio, but I'm gonna call you Mofum Radio. What's up? Yeah, Gene activation, Aquarian age. Yeah, Aquarius and Gemini run the shit, fool. Aquemini. We the outcasts out here. Yeah, Dan. It's called the Dan activation. That was one of my original names. DNA is DAN activation. Is Daniel means the trumpet of God, or the trumpet of the angels or the angels. Mm. It's good to see you, whoever you are. I only seen you like. This is the first time you've been here. I never seen you before. Aquemini. It's yeah, Arian. Arian is the So you got you remember this dude in the NFL? His name is Arian Foster. He's one of the first running backs to come out. He played for the Houston Texans. He came out as a um, he kind of came out as a vegan vegetarian. He was just busting people up. Arian Foster. And then you got Arian Rams. And you got Aries, which is connected to Rams, which is connected to Mars. Rams is Mars, and there's this whole other interesting thing with the Rams and the Mars and the Aryans, which are the air people, which are actually connected to the um, the Gemini, because the Gemini is an air sign, and there's a whole interesting looping thing that goes on with those names. Two lesbian fishes. Wrap up the air signs, you know. That's why that's where you're above all things, you know. Hey, gotta love the earth, gotta love the air, gotta love the water, gotta love the fire. But you know, the shit that just you can't really bring earth up into the stratosphere. You can only get water so high before it has to drop back down. You know, and fire isn't really an element. It's a transmutative force, which I plainly put out there. There's only three elements. So fire elements, we're not discounting you. We're just saying you're transmutative. So wrap up the air signs. You said, oh, Elijah, you said Jason Momoa looks like Taylor Budd. Oh, you know what? Taylor Budd. Hey, I don't know I don't know if y'all know, but Taylor Budd's sister, yeah, she is deliciously authentic and sexy, and like I can't wait to meet her in person. Uh, mm, she's super excellent. I don't know if you know who she is. I even just recently I just found I somewhere off of nowhere, like I was like somebody said, "Oh, so and so is Tyler Budd's sister," and I checked it out. I was like, "Oh my goodness, look at her! She's all sorts of she's all sorts of sexy." I'd like to high five her with my lips right in her lips. I think I would make good lovers with her. So if anybody knows her, let her know that Zen thinks she's super beautiful and sexy. I'd let her into my concubine. She could be my combine. I would clean out house for her. She could take first choice. She'd get rid of the rest of them, but I'm sure she's probably into chicks too. So that's fine. She can pick out the one she likes. Fulong Gong, yeah. Yeah, Fulong Gong. Yeah, I know about that. I don't know about the wheel that you're talking about, but that's cool. I'll dig in that a little farther. Desires and ego. Well, ultrasonic. Desires is all of life is desire. You desire to be alive, so therefore you're alive. Okay? That's very simple. You can't disagree with that. It's an impossibility, really. You desire to be alive, so you're alive. And the ego is literally the encompassing of your experiences, so that way you can learn from what you've been through, to make a different choice if you need to, or make the same choice again because it's so desirable. You can't escape ego and desire. That is inescapable. And if you escape that, then you become nothing. And if you become nothing, then you don't have an experience. And if you have no experience, you're not living. And then you become dead. And by dead, I mean you've been de-added from all things. And you don't you then you can go into back into the black realm and be rebirthed as a new child into the world. But that is the most, as Alan Watts put it, to get rid of the death of the ego, or to get rid of the ego, is the biggest game going, because you can't do it. And now these people be talking this shit about people, they got ego problems. No, the problem is addiction to things. It means to have words that get in the way of what you desire. Was what I desire sometimes is to take a fucking dump. Other times I desire to be very sober. Other times I desire fucking let's have some red wine. Sometimes I desire like just pussy, and sometimes I desire people getting away from me. I desire to sit on a mountain. Sometimes I desire to take a walk. Sometimes I desire to fast. Sometimes I desire to play. You know what I'm saying. This is the thing is you don't get to escape, or because the word isn't even escape, unless you think you're Superman. You can escape everything, but Superman wearing the escape was so involved in everything. He was the most egotistical, maniacal freak ever, wearing his big red. Why are you wearing a red cape, homie? Why you got these fucking? Why you got these big muscles wearing these tights? What a weird thing to do. That's creepy, yo. It looks like he was trying to escape everything, including his ego, because he had an alter ego. Huh. Clark Kent. How come every superhero has an alter ego? Why not separate the two? Why not just be all of it? You know? But that seems to be the simple way to go about it. Eli Jen, what you talking about? Eli Jen, you're only 19 though. What are you talking about? She's too old for Eli Jen. Who you talking? Are you talking about Tyler Bud's sister? Yeah. Oh no, no. I mean, maybe she's too old for you, but she's probably like, what is she like? Was she like 26? She's probably too young for me, but like she's got a like, again, the 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 idea of age is you have you have about 360 different personalities. Um, you have a personality based upon your physical age. You have a personality based upon your humor. You have a personality based upon your intellect. You have a personality based upon you can go through all of these different things. So I don't think anybody with has any age per se. I know people that are 10 years old that are smarter than 50-year-olds that I've met. And some of them are emotionally inept when you're 50, and some of them are more intellectually capable when they're 12. You know, you have all of these. You know, humor can become complicated depending on where you're from. Um, you have emotional intelligence. You can go through the whole gambit of shit. So, yeah. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. How to get rid of your enemy without fighting. All stems from knowing yourself. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, it's called the Uber Mensch. Yeah, the Uber Witch. Yeah. Huh. How would I beat myself up if I had to? Mercury Curie. We're gonna play that we play that another Brad Pitt movie. Third time tonight we talk about Brad Pitt movies. Fight Club. No. I mean, how would Superman beat up Superman? He wouldn't even do it. He'd stop fighting. How to free flow with energy around others that don't agree. Well, that dimension extension, I can't answer that. I'm not that perfected yet. And I don't know if there's a perfect way to answer that because I just do whatever I do, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm an idiot. Sometimes I'm very intelligent. Sometimes I make friends. Sometimes I make enemies. I fucking don't know. I don't think there's a good way to go about it because no matter what you do, some people love the Dalai Lama. Some people think he's a fucking idiot. Some people think George Bush was the greatest president. Some people think Arnold Schwarzenegger should have been. You know, you go through anybody you can think of, and there's nobody that you can think of that everybody universally says that's a good person. That's who I like. You could be doing everything completely correct by the book, the handbook of life, and you'd fail to impress some people. And that's pretty simple. Like there's not a lot you can do with your personality. I've attempted a lot of different ways. I was like, hey, let me just be as smart as possible. Let me be as loving as possible. Let me handshake everybody and smile in everyone's face. It doesn't always work. And then I've also been like, let me see if I can be just rude to everyone. You know, sometimes I'd be rude to people and be like, this fucker is funny. And I was like, oh, geez, this is getting. And so then I started to play with all of them. I'd be, I'd be funny. I'd be charismatic. I'd be rude. I'd be charming. I'd be delightful. I'd be, smiley. I'd be, and it. No matter what I did, it all seemed to kind of work out the same way. Ultrasonic, yeah. I've always liked ultrasonic. I've always liked nerdy girls. Um, I mean, I've been in all sorts of different things. You know, like when I was young, I liked older women. You know, like I mean, even now, like I could fuck with older women. I could fuck with 50-year-olds. When I was like 20, I was fucking with like 45-year-olds. You know, I've been all over the map. So I don't know. It's just really personality and sexuality and like energetics for me. It really doesn't matter. I don't really define it that way. So you just got to find what works with you. But I do like when you say nerdy, I think you mean girls are into what they're into and they're introverted. You know, like they cover up, but then when they undress, they're like, "Yep, there you go." I like that. Yeah. I mean, I dig all sorts of different ages and realms and shit. Like it's all, you know, if you're sexy, you're sexy. That's what it is. Shit, I ain't fucking with dudes, but I'm saying like I could like that dude is sexy. I ain't trying to fuck with them, but yeah, I get who is like you know that's hey do your thing. God damn it, fucking good for you. I ain't trying to take off anybody's awesomeness. In my humble opinion. Oh, stop having humble opinions. Yeah, it's all energetic reality for sure. Yeah, everybody's all good where they are. Like, you can't expect somebody to be better than they are, or worse than they are, or a different place than they are. They're just doing whatever they're doing. And when people find their own, I don't know. I guess it's like their own voice, their own sexuality. Sexuality is a voice. Because anybody who's watched my videos, I said this many times. I used to not like the sound of my voice. Not at all. And it wasn't because people started telling me, "Oh, like I like the sound of your voice." It was just like I literally started listening to my voice, and I was like, "I actually like the sound of my voice." And then I started like filming myself. And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm actually a beautiful person," and and it didn't have anything to do with anything other than I was just like looking at myself, and going, "Oh shit!" I looked in a black mirror, I looked in a white mirror. I was like, "Motherfucker, are you good looking? I like the sound of your voice. I'd listen to you. I'd look at you." And it made me more comfortable with myself. So you know, sexually, like, am I androgynous? Am I, you know, just am I? It ain't even the right word. Androgynous is a really good word, but um, do I look at myself and like narcissistically? No, not like that. Like I ain't trying to fuck myself. If I saw somebody look like me, I wouldn't want to fuck them. I'd be like, oh, you're beautiful, but you're dudes. Keep your penis away from me, brother. Cause you know what the smell of my balls actually is. I mean I don't mind it, but it's not the best. But the smell of pussy, uh, the the stankiest pussy is to me better than the smell of my own balls. You know what I mean? See, this is like the weird part of the internet. Like, what is Zen talking about right now? I'm just saying it's the sense of what you find delightful. What do you find? Yeah, what do you find delightful to yourself? You know what I find delightful? Going out looking at the moon, uh, sitting in the sun, jumping in the ocean. I enjoy the sound of my voice. I enjoy certain kinds of food. I enjoy certain kinds of people. Some shit I don't like. And that's just what it is. That's really weird you say that. I used to never think I was photogenic. A lot of people be like, "You're photogenic." I'm like, I don't know. Um, oh, now what is sexual? Like someone who doesn't have any attraction or desire? No, no, no. I'm very sexual creature. I'm. It's just that I recently. Well, I had like about a year ago. I had a couple weird fucking experiences with like psychopaths that like energetic vampire bitches. I had some witches fuck with me, and I had some. I had a couple stalker bitches because I'm a really decent lover, and that would just turn me off to like just sex. Not no, it didn't turn me off to sex. It just turned me off to like just women that weren't about it. Like you know, it's easy to go out. You know, I get laid any night I want, right? But then it just got kind of like tiring. Like it ain't really worth it. And now it's kind of like, oh no, no, it didn't turn asexual by any means. It was not. It's not like that. I certainly am like a. It's like having an like orgasmically, like everything is orgasmic to me in a sense. You know, busting a nut is another thing. Uh, Making love to a woman, yeah, that's it's always been number one on my list. But some people be like, yo, your energy is a lot, and it's too much for most people. And I've noticed that. And like girls are very attracted to me, women are very attracted to me, but then they're like, then I'll talk to them, and then I've actually had people tell me like I'd see them again in the future, like, yeah, I kind of had a crush on you, but I didn't know what to do with it, and they wouldn't really fuck with me, they wouldn't talk to me because they thought I was like too much energy. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, I actually did like you, and he wouldn't even go on a date with me because they didn't know what to do with it. Like, I've had people like I didn't know what I would do if I would meet you, and I'd have people that tell me like, uh, they didn't like my energy was just like, you know that thing. Oh, I've never met anybody like you. Like, and like it just didn't make any sense to me. So I'm not gonna too deep into that shit. But yeah, sexuality is everything. Like speaking through this right now is sexuality. You know. But thank you for the photogenic because I've never noticed that. I mean, I recently I kind of don't mind the look of myself. Eli Jen, you don't like the sound of your voice, but you realize that your voice sucks some people in, still love me. And then I was like, maybe I've been perfect all along. You've never ever been broken. Yeah. You're like down like some rabbits though. Yes, yes. Asexual would mean like sexual towards self. I don't, I didn't say asexual, did I? Uh, yeah, yeah, asexual, like asexual would mean like you ain't fuck with nobody. It means like just self-sexual. If I said asexual, then I said the wrong word. Mercury. Um, the idea was that um, sexuality for me was all inclusive, and some. I'm not saying I'm out here like dendrophilia, like fucking trees, or like necrophilia, fucking dead bodies, or um, I wanna, latexophilia, if that's even a goddamn thing. Fucking rubber shit. I don't know, but everything becomes a sexual journey. Like words, like people are like, oh man, I'm so turned on by someone's voice. I'm so turned on by the way something looks. I'm so turned on. Yeah, yeah. But there's a certain energetic connection you have with people, which trumps all of that, and sometimes that's very intense. So I don't remember what word I used earlier, but I don't think it was asexual, and if it was, that's not what I meant. Although when you say asexual, the way you put it there, what do you mean? You're asexual? Holy shit! Are you part of the six? Which would be the Vikings? Ah, I see. Now we can play. Here, I'll just do what I do. Sexual would be sexual. Sexual would be Vikings. Vikings is VI, which means six kings. VI means the sex kings. So I'm a fucking Viking. How's that? I'm a sex king. How's that? One girl, when she takes off her glasses, she was even more gorgeous. Scorpio, some issue with her was not to talk about herself, but still, it made her. Uh huh. Yeah. Why did I say ultrasonic? The Scorpio Virgo thing. I don't know. I had a Scorpio girlfriend that I very much fell in love with. Um, Scorpios are very stingy, but uh, man, I think it has something to do with like reflection of things, scorpions and all that. Um, Because where do you find scorpions? Where, in the desert? Is that right? Scorpions are in the desert. I mean, I'd have to go deeper into that. I can't answer that with the Scorpio Virgo right now. But yeah, Scorpio. I'm a Gemini, and the Scorpio was my greatest lover for sure. Like, fucking sucked that that ended, but oh well. We move on. We find new signs and realize there's not just 12 of them, but like 144 of them. Eli Jen, you've never met anybody with too intense of energy. Yeah. Who the fuck is that? Yeah, I hear you about that. Sydney, you actually look like I do. That's interesting. I'd love to see a picture of you. You could send it to me. You know where it's at. It's go on to any of my other videos. It's Theo Luminous Gmail. I'd love. That would be interesting to see. Uh-huh. I hear you, Eli, on that shit. Nobody ever meet. I never meet anybody like you. Yeah, that's a common thing. I think because when you get into there's living souls and there's things that aren't. I think it just has how much you're unleashed from the programs that are running. Like even I, the great architect of all, the Zen. I still have programs running. I still have things that bother me that get in the way of me being, completely free of things. But robot sex will be a thing soon. I know, Sydney, but you know what's interesting about you say that. Robot sexual. I remember watching one of my favorite films from what is it? Was it 99, 2000? Um, can somebody help me with this? There's four films out. One's called Baraka, not the Boys of Baraka, but it's called Baraka, and one's called um, oh man, there's three other films that are just like Baraka, that are basically it's just music and the most beautiful pictures you could ever seen. And there's a scene in it of making these robotic Asian dolls in like the early 2000s. I think it was 2003, and I'm sorry I can't remember the name of it. Uh, and I'm saying it's 2018. So if we already know that technology is about 40 years ahead of what we get, then in 2003, it means in 1963 there was actually robots that were being built, and now all of a sudden we're like you can find plat. Here's the weird thing is, I could go online and I could find myself um, a plasticized butthole and vagina and tits and face and with the fake hair and all this, and I could buy it for $100 online. It's basically a latex plasticky thing. It will never talk back to me, and it's just a little fuck machine, right? I could just stick my dick in it and like done with it, right? And right now there's women that have put so much plastic in their body, in their lips, in their butts. I mean, they've even probably puffed out their vaginas. you know, I mean, really, it's gotten pretty absurd these days. And what's the difference? They've paid tens of thousands of dollars to get their whole body made up, so they could be just little fuck toys. So what would you want? A little fuck toy? You want a little fuck toy that's going to give you heartache and pain in the future? That's going to cost you more money and more, or you just go instead and say, man, for an investment of like $2,000, I can have the perfect plastic woman designed for me. And when I say woman, I just mean, uh, well, let's just, okay, it appears to be. Because we got transsexuals. Well, what are we talking about? Transvestites or transgender or trans, oh, what, transferring or transformers or like whatever that fucking word means. We'll just get rid of all that word. But like, I can go online right now to even Amazon. But if I got really cute with the way that I put a couple words in the internet, I could find myself you know, some company in the middle of India or Asia or Europe, probably even in America, that for $1,000 will send me a really nice, good enough looking. This movie is called what's it called? The Dinner with Lars? No, not Dinner with Lars. It's called oh, such a good actor, Lars. Lars and his girl, Lars and his girlfriend. Anybody want to help me with that? You can put that in there. Where he has his plastic girlfriend, this wife figure that's just plastic, and we today have women, and men too. Don't get me wrong, men too that are plasticized, but mostly women that they've believed that their entire facilitation of reality is to just be subservient to the masculine perception of them. And so men build them in laboratories. So they like, my tits aren't good enough. My ass isn't good enough. My fucking vagina isn't bleached. My asshole isn't bleached. Shave me. Fucking make my boobs better. Make my lips better. Make me look younger. It's so silly. But yet, in a couple years, you'll be able to buy a doll. Oh, it's called Lars and the Real Girl. There you go. Lars and the Real Girl. There we go. That you'll be able to buy what you want. I mean, is that any different than a hooker? I mean, you know, you might as well go to go to the Netherlands, go to the fucking Amsterdam, and get yourself a real living woman that can actually just play the game to act like she's interested, because real wet pussy is a little better than synthetic fluid. But I digress. But I thought that was a really interesting. And this is if you get 2 hours into these videos, this is the kind of great information you get. Robot sexuals. Marine Mercury. If asexual means you like Vikings, I'm asexual. Okay, well, Marine Mercury Curie. Um, there's a long list of uh, beautiful dead women that need Viking blood, and I have Viking blood as well as Aboriginal blood. So if you'd like to find your way to meet yourself a real living Viking. Thank you, Lucianne. Samsara is the movie that we were looking for earlier. I'm gonna catch up 2:45. Okay, I'm only 5 minutes behind. Virgos look younger for longer. My mom is a Virgo, and people always think she looks younger than she is. Hey, is that Chrono? Well, you look pretty young for your age, is that Chrono? Hey, does your mom need a younger, uh, white-looking lover? Or does she still have a dad? Or do you still have a dad? I don't know. It's good to see you. I'm kidding. I'm not having relations or intercourse with your mother unless she like, you know, unless she like, you know, Zen, excuse me, would you please come to my aid? Like, you know, that's fine then, but don't try to pawn your. Hey, Zach Chrono, I see what you're doing. You're trying to pawn your mom off on me. I get it. I don't want to have to be your stepdad, homie. And all I can say that to you because I already know who you are a little bit. Mm. Uh, ultrasonic. Yeah, I hear that, man. Um, yeah, I get the same thing. I just don't know what to do with that because the one that I'm thinking of, I wouldn't do anything to interfere with her life because you know, like sometimes like you're both at fault, you know, for a relationship ending. So you kind of just you don't revisit that. And if I went out of my way to go say hi, you know, it would be uncouth, I think. But Hey, Eli Jen, cycle of life and death. It's awesome. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, yeah. But if we get out of cycles, because cycles are psycho, you get into spirituality, which is a spiral. Lars and the girl. Yeah. Hey, ultrasonic. Yeah, 24/7. That's crazy. Nah, I mean, the love of the it's not see love lust. I think there's another word in between love and lust because it's just something that should have worked out if we were this if she was a little older or I was a little younger or um, maturity within the different realms linked up like it would have been you know but then again I wouldn't be doing this because I would be you know too cozied up with this one ah but you get these little blessings here and there. What's up, Branson? What's up, Viking? Curses. Mary Mercury. Well, curses, man, curses. How to deal with curses? Hmm. What's up, Shaman Clown? Zen, I wouldn't. Is that I wouldn't even be your. You know, that'd be the hard. That'd be the most hilarious thing ever. We would just have to like, that'd be fucking funny, and you know it. You already know it from a long distance. 252, 252. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's where I'm at 254 at this point. Okay, I'm at the end with Eli Jen. Shaman Clown's in the business in the house. Y'all should welcome Shaman Clown because I ain't talked to him in a little bit, but he's one of the greatest, one of the greatest of the clowns, the greatest of the shamans. What's up, Jasper? Yeah, funny. I was watching a show earlier today where this crazy dude, um, he's got a bunch of Christian shit and clown shit in the basement, and his daughter comes in the basement and just ruins the whole fucking thing because he's a fucking weirdo. Yeah, yeah, the maestro coming through. Chapman Clown, what's up, man? How you been living? For whoever y'all can get on your hands and knees and bow down to the one glorious, most non-fictional creator of them all, the Shaman Clown, Mr. Gartner, Mr. Gartner from down under. And I wish I could do a better, yeah. Working, yeah. Are you working 9 to 5 for real? Holy shit balls! This deserves some sort of celebration. I don't even know what to do. Hey, you know what I'm gonna do for you? You you, you crazy lunatic, you bastard! I can't wait till I can't wait till I can. I'll buy you a fucking ticket here as soon as these people respect my goddamn authority. Pay me a few. Hey, pay me a few dollars. Don't even pay me. Just donate because you can donate to seeing me and Shaman Clown online in the same room at the same time, and I'll buy him a ticket here. Um, I'm gonna have a drink for you anyways. Cause what the fuck do I gotta do? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Hey. Okay. I'm gonna bring you guys in the bathroom. You guys, be quiet. Be quiet while I piss. I need silence. And don't listen to me. You fucking freaks. You're a bunch of weirdos. Don't look at me either. Don't look at me in the eyes. Like, okay, stop. I'm gonna have to pause this. Don't listen. There's only one better entertainer in the group of us, and Shaman Clown knows who it is. Shaman Clown's a great entertainer. Um, I'm a good educator, but I'm not the greatest entertainer. But Shaman Clown knows who it is. The Mayan Jin Abaddon reigns supreme. Hold on, let me do it the right way. The Mayan Jin Abaddon reigns supreme. That's the greatest entertainer of our little the Mayan Jin. The Mayan Jin. Yeah. He's yeah. Yeah, let me plug this shit in right here so we can maintain this insanity. Okay, cool. I know Sean Khan you would be. Yeah, mute it. Sounds like an elephant you too. Uh-huh. No, no, no. Shaman, I know that happens. I've me and him did a live stream the other night on I think Tars just you know, look it. The Mayan Jin and Tars have the same. They're super dark realm. I happen to dig into the dark realms and just like high five these motherfuckers for a minute. And be like, I gotta go back up to the surface and fuck with the normal oddities. But Tars is out there, yo, and y'all know that. We'll see him soon enough. I'll go talk to him in a second. But Mayan Jin Abaddon, me and him did a live stream on Instagram the other day. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, you'll see Taurus come back stronger than ever. Yeah, he's in the psychedelic world. Oh, thank you, Elijah. He's in the psychedelic world. Like, I mean, the world is psychedelic, but he's in the super psychedelic world. So you only get bits and pieces. You can't like, if somebody was going like just taking flights everywhere, you couldn't go everywhere they went. Well, at least we know where the Mayan Jin goes. He just drops fucking trow. He just drops fucking anchor. He just goes straight to the bottom and just starts wilding out. That's why he's the genius. He's the genie. That's why he sometimes gets stuck in the lamp until you say it 3 times. What's that, Chrono? I mean, you dive in there, man, but it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough, man. This is why I do it like quick. I do quick trips down there because it's not for everybody, man. You can't suggest these things to everybody. If you can do it, do it. Hey, Shaman knows about it. Shaman Clown knows about it. Is that Chrono? You can ask him. Mm-hmm. Lucienne. Hey, yo. I'm going to change it up real soon. All right, so we the dark realm, Eli Jen, what does that mean? Okay, we got love and light movement, and you got you got people that live during noon, and you got people that live during 4 a.m. You got the summonings of the demons or the dark ancestor is, and then you have the angelic realms and fluffy and furry and blah 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 and all this shit. It's just a matter of traversing all of it. For me, at least, I don't think everyone can do that. I think some people can go into other realms that I can't, and I think there's. It seems there are people that stay in the lower realms to give lessons, right? I mean, they don't worry. They're all part of the same system. They'll come back up, but um, I'm gonna jump in there. So Zach Corona, you've planned to do all those. Well, you, let me tell you this, Zach. You don't get to plan to do those. If those things want to come see you, they'll come see you. But between them, if you had to make a choice and what order they should see you in, let me go ahead and check my little wallet here. Okay. All right, there you go. You would do it in this order. You would do it in the salvia first, and then the ayahuasca and the amanita, and that's probably how you find them because, well, it just so happens. I mean, it's not that any of them are any worse or any better or anything. It's just salvia is a one singular plant, and ayahuasca you can find produced in different cultures, and the amanita, unless you're like trying to go straight to the underworld, like yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, if that's what you find first, fucking do it. But salvia, it's not even that salvia is the easiest of them because I don't think it is because that's salvia deals with time. Ayahuasca deals with realms, and amanita deals with death. Brian Zen, I really like what you just said there. Shadows are showing time. Yeah, that's I've never thought about that, but as soon as you said that, that's exactly correct. Shadows are time. Yeah, and you can just throw DMT in there too, but yeah, experience as much as you can. Uh huh. Hey, Lucianne, when are you gonna post a picture? I don't even care what it is. I don't want to see just like a brown, faceless nothingness. Post a picture of yourself, and if you're too, if you can't do that, post a picture of something like just like some I don't know, a picture you draw or maybe just something cool off the internet or something. That's gotta be easy to change. Yeah, sobriety is Sydney, thank you. Sobriety is relative. Sobriety is a measure of what you're able to consume because I know people that are drunk off a fucking steak. You know what I mean? That are like you say drunk, like people like, oh, well, weed is safe and alcohol will kill you. I'm like, I see people that are fucking stoned all the time that are dumb as fuck. And you see me drink all the time, and I guarantee I'm one of the smartest people in this fucking realm. It doesn't bother me that I think that, like, but they think they're smart too. But like I guarantee, like, stand me and this pothead in front of anyone, and I don't think they're winning the conversation because their experience is dulled to a point of ignorances because their belief system is that like I'm not addicted to weed even though they smoke it 5 times a day and like the silliness that comes out of their fucking mouths because I've been there I know it like anybody that says weed isn't addictive is a fucking retard and a liar and especially considering where it is now commercially fucking available that gets tiring. So sobriety is really like, you could be addicted to, you could be addicted to sobriety by the way too. To think you can just go around your entire life and just be a breatharian, then you're addicted to talking about how cool you are for being a breatharian. It's like the vegans do. Well, I'm a vegan. You guys are fucking up reality by killing all the animals. I'm like, y'all need to slow down. Yeah, that's just the general idea that I have. Yeah, Zach Chrono, your cousin, medicated on acid for months. My ability to draw, I'll just put it in there, came out of just meeting someone that knew how to draw. And I immediately could draw about 2 weeks later. Salvia, I don't, Marie Mercury, I don't know. Is commercial stuff safe or just grow it? Sort of makes it sound like rancid bath salts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it was the rage. I just know that I found some a couple times and it was fucking awesome. Um, yeah, anything you grow your own is gonna be the best way to go about it. And you gotta make sure you use high heat with it. What's up? What's up, Laura Craft? Tars, tars, tars. Uh, Ultrasonic, are there methods on learning faster? Yes, I do know. I did a bunch of earlier videos about a year and a half ago on learning methodologies, memory systems, and a way to enhance your. Mm, I don't want to just use big words for the sake of using big words, but to like enhance your neurology, if that makes a sense, like your capacity to visualize, conceptualize, and use your senses. And there's ways to do it. So I've made those videos, but I'll do that another time. I'm almost done with this video because I'm almost finished with this bottle of wine. So we'll continue on so I'm done with that. But I will ultrasonic get on here or send me an email and ask me about that, and I'll do the video again or tell you what the other one was. Because yeah, there's ways to learn on site, basically. So you can use alphanumerics, you can use visualization, and you can use smells and different types of things to to make information more readily available to you know it, for you to know something tomorrow, you have to have had an experience today. So there's a way to collect that information and use it tomorrow. So yeah, a plane trip. Yeah, there's certain things that I've, yeah, every once in a while you're forced to like stop doing something. Like forced is a great word, is an awful thing. Force is a for, like power is more important than force. For me, it's like um, I can stop doing things most of the time just because it just seems right for me. Like I can stop being awake right now because I just yawn. It feels comfortable. Or I could stop consuming certain kinds of food, or I could start doing something. If we do in the opposite direction, I could start drinking more water. I could start eating more fruit. You could look at it in a lot of different ways, but yeah, there's there's things that just don't serve a purpose anymore. There's certain things that do serve purposes, meaning purpose, pure position, to purpose yourself to find something that helps your experience along. Salvia, the way you said salvia is different from weed. Salvia is one of the. It's called the diviner sage. You don't just get to take salvia. You don't, you don't just. Somebody doesn't just walk up to you and hand you salvia. You're probably closer to getting DMT than salvia, and you're probably closer to ayahuasca than salvia. Even though I say should be done first, is probably as they're all very instructive. I would just say that salvia might be the best way to do those three things, so that way you might be able to bring back information from those other realms. Salvia is super intense. Zach Corona, what realm would I consider Tauren from? Torin is, well, I mean, just based on his name, he's made a tear in reality, and he's split in between realms, and he stays in a meta realm that, um, that'd be too much to speak about here because I never met him in person, but I get a sense about it through his artwork that he's stuck in a creative realm where he doesn't exactly um, get to the point of consolidating anything. Well, like, I mean, he's 19 or 20. How old is he? Do you know how old he is? And his drawings and everything is so you know how they say that love is fleeting. It's like his artwork is beautiful. It's the most beautiful shit, man. I mean, the dude's amazing. One of my favorite people in the whole planet, like the whole world. I never met him, but there's just something that he's he just needs to have a little bit of an island of self, where it's just like he's always trying to get away from what he thinks he knows. It's like he's trying to emancipate himself from ideas that he used to have, and some of the ideas that he used to have were actually like what he needed to hold on to, if that makes any sense. Sydney, what did you say you made an after? Oh, salvia is an after work habit. Um, so hold on. So Sydney, do you use do you use the correct lighter for it? Because salvia is very much like DMT. You need a very hot lighter. Like you need a butane. You need a certain degree. I think it's like 780 degrees or some like crazy. You can't just use a regular lighter. So I don't to say it's an after work habit. I don't think you're doing it the right way, because you should be salvia. To me, was crazier than mushrooms and LSD, and like, it's crazier. I would never give anyone salvia. I'm just saying. So yeah, yeah, okay. Well, I don't know how old he is at Corona, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, yeah, but yeah, okay. So I got you there, Sydney. Yeah, between all of this, all the other drugs that are, well, the psychotropics and the uh psychotropics, the psychedelics, and the I don't know, just the ways to get out there or into your own mind or whatever. See, look at he said being torn from childhood truth. When we just talk about Torn's garden, Torn. See, what we're talking about there. Isn't that cute? But the back to where we at here. Yeah, I think I'm Marie. Yeah, yeah. You gotta. Salvia's got me smoked the right way. Just everything has a certain um a release point of the energy in it. You can't do DMT with just a regular lighter. You have to burn it. You have to do it like many times. It has to be like, just like anything. You can't just you can't cook a meal with the wrong heat. So you can't use certain elements. You have to extract uh certain elements in alcohol, because alcohol is fire water, right? And some of it can be done in lower degrees. Some of it has to be distilled. Some of it has to be just sitting there fermented. And the fermentations can be different than distillation, because fermentation is going to be at a lower temperature. And it's going to go on for a longer period of time, where distillation happens very fast with the higher heat. So that's just to say about what salvia might do and how you get there. So it takes a certain kind of alchemist or alchemy to find somebody that can fuck with a dimethyltryptamine, or fuck with, well, see, mushrooms take a long time to make because you need cow shit, right? And you need to find somebody that knows about cow shit and that kind of energy. So a mushroom trip takes like, to get mushrooms off cow shit or underneath a coniferous tree, it takes a very long time to grow them, and the trip lasts for a long time. But it's kind of smooth and easy. But to get, um, let's say, dimethyltryptamine or salvia or certain types of elements, it's a quicker process, and it's only going to last for a certain amount of time. And so you need a higher heat to release it. And if you want to get drunk really fast, you'd want to distill something. So I would take something that took a long time to grow, like corn or wheat or whatever, and I would distill it at a very high temperature, and it would give me a very, like moonshine, right? Versus beer, which is a very long, slow thing, and it takes a long time to get a little buzz off it, a little drunk off of it, and it could be a whole different experience. So that's the alchemical properties of it. Whose last name is Salter? Is that? Oh, is that why his name is Alt Salt? Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, I never knew that. Ever clear double shots. Lucianne. Hey, Lucianne. I started watching this. Has anybody seen this new show? It's called what's the name of the new show? It's the people that did The Simpsons. Help me out here, Lucianne, because there's a character in the show. It's called, yeah, Lucy. Oh, you know, yeah, Disenchanted. Thank you, Jasper. Yes, Disenchanted. And me and Amir watching this the other night with a friend of ours, and Ami just starts laughing her ass off, and says, "You're fucking Lucy, aren't you?" I never liked The Simpsons. The Simpsons were okay, like because for me, South Park is so much more fucking intelligent, and The Simpsons kind of fucking corny to me. Uh, but that's neither here nor there. But Disenchanted is fucking amazing. And Ami just started laughing and goes, "Oh my God, you're Lucy." And I was like, and and over the past like 2 weeks prior to this, people are like, "Dude, you're fucking Satan. You're Lucifer. You're the devil." Blah blah blah. I'm like, why does people saying this to me? What the fuck am I doing? And he's called somebody Lucifer. It's like a light bearer. Blah blah blah. It was just very funny that like Futurama's alright. I could deal with it. I could dig it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, The Simpsons is alright. Futurama's alright. Bob's Burgers is pretty good. Disenchanted fucking is amazing though. And Lucianne, your double shots of Everclear. What's wrong with you? Yeah, yeah. South Park. I started watching South Park the year it came out, and that's a whole bunch of long stories. That shit. South Park. They were too fucking hilarious. They were actually like immediately just riffing on shit. Yeah, you get that sometimes. Lighten up the evening, huh? So check it out, y'all. I got like 12 more minutes because I give you like 3 hours in here for no other reason than um I don't know what else I gotta say. It's good, Billy's. Yeah. Um, ARHF. I don't know what that one is, man. You was a workaholic ever here? Oh, Everclear because you had it. Nice. But when you say workaholic, you mean you used to be a bartender? Yeah, but tequila. Who doesn't prefer tequila? But tequila is the only way to go, really. Oh, okay. He says it's good. Billy is it? Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's what you. Oh, Marie, you were saying Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You know my dog's name is, right? The best kind of tequila that I know of right now. Whew. I would start with anything dark. I wouldn't play with the fucking Blanco. And I mean, just find Reposado, and then get something on the mid shelf. You don't got to go real hard with it, like to get the really expensive shit. Um, there's so many different brands that are really pretty decent. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you the end of this bottle, you fucking retards. Um, I'm trying to think of what would be my favorite right now. Hmm. I've just I've been to so many different places that don't have good tequila, and so I kind of got to just work with what the fuck they got. Hmm. I'll just find something good reposado. I don't know. I wouldn't go with anybody name something here, y'all, and I'll tell you if it's any good because I've had a lot of tequila. I used to just drink bottle after bottle because I want to know what it was like. Jose Gold. I mean, yeah. You arousing children? Man in the liquor store. Let me think about this tequila game. I guess I guess this is what I'm saying. Tell me what you guys know from where you live, and what's around you, and I'll tell you if it's any good. But you want any of the dark stuff. You don't gotta go with any of the smoky shit. You have to, you have to do an essay for English. Well, don't pay attention to the English that I use because it's a very professional version of English. It was Lucian. Yes, Raising Children. Raising Cain, huh? One of the greatest movies ever made. Raising Cain. Yeah, typing on a set 324. Oh, are you in the same? Hey, Lucian, you in the same time zone as me? Where the fuck do you live? I know we've done this before, but where do you live? Azunia. I don't know this one. Um, yeah, which area you live in? Are you north of me? Are you in the same? Oh, you in the Illinois? Yeah, you're in Illinois. Southern. I told you. I used to live in the Garden of the Gods in Illinois. I used to live in Bloomington, Indiana. I used to live over there. Yeah, so we were right in that same time zone. What do you mean Garden of the Gods talk this week? You gonna go there and talk there? What you talking about? Who? Hey, Sydney, hoot hoot, motherfucker. Hootie hoo. You give me some. You give me some more. What do you mean you're gonna talk there? What does that even mean? Don't give me yes dot dot dot. I can't. This what the worst part of me having my channel, everybody just typing is I can't. I don't even get to really know what y'all saying. I can't see all your faces. All your lovely smiling faces. I know. I knew there was more than one of them. I think there's two or three in this country. One's in Colorado, one's in Illinois, and one's in I think California or something. I could be wrong about the California, but like yeah, Northern Illinois. Well, we yawked about the Garden. I know because Lucian, you can't listen to anything I say because I just talk a lot of shit with every. Yeah, I know. I talk a lot of shit with a lot of people. So and you know what? It's hard for me to remember who you are, Lucienne, because I see on this brown little empty face hole of a nothing next to like y'all get to see what I look like. You see that I actually seem to be a human being. Well, kind of. Or a Greek god. Well, I have a lot of people to talk to, man. I have like a personal life where I go out in public and I talk to people, and then I have people that hang out with me, and then I got people on the internets. So you know, it's a little bit of work, you know. It's like if you have to remember just me, and I got to remember 400 people, it's gonna be a little more difficult for me. Don't hold that against me. Jasper, um, no, I mean you don't need to. No, you drink what you want, you know? Like I just happen to like drinking. Some people don't like drinking. If it doesn't agree with you and it doesn't put you in a good place, don't do it. Um, if you like sugar, drink that. But I know sugar turns into alcohol, so for me, it's something I enjoy. Uh, sometimes it doesn't work out right. Sometimes it does, but sometimes when I'm sober, I don't. I'm I'm incapacitated to talk to certain kinds of people because energy is different, right? So for you, if what works for you is eating, then that works for you, you know. And if what works for you is drinking, say, pineapple juice with, name it, whatever you like. If it's just juice and sugars, um, if it's a beer, but if you don't like it, fuck it, man. Don't do it. A lot of people don't like to drink their piss, but think about that though. Piss, piss is, very cleansing. So is alcohol, but if you do too much of it, it's not gonna it's not gonna have a good effect. So you got to do everything in its measures towards what you feel good doing. I just happen to have a lifestyle that allows for me to wake up with a hangover once in a while and drink some water in the morning and be alive and ready for the day by noon and then hang out till 3 in the morning. That's my lifestyle. Some people got to get up and have children to raise, and they have a job to go to at 8 a.m. and you know, drinking a fucking half liter of tequila is not going to be the best choice. You know what I'm saying? So find what works for you. God damn it, Sydney and Lucy, you fucking robots. I hate. I'm so tired of you goddamn robots. Yeah, man. I mean, the mental block's gonna be the hardest part with the urine. If you do have a kid, if you have a child, remember when it came out the womb, it was an amniotic fluid, and that amniotic fluid is actually urine. It was literally sitting inside of an egg of urine of your wife or your girlfriends or whatever, and its own urine. I mean, that's what it is. But then beyond that, what we would find out is that if we look into nature, anything that drops to the ground, say a papaya comes to the ground, or a certain elements. Like think about where elephants live, and there'll be certain fruits that will fall to the ground, and they'll start to become aged, and that aging, the process of leaving it out, will start to cause the fruit to become. I mean, some people call it spoiled, but other people call it become alcohol, and animals consume it and get kind of drunk off of it, and they seem to be happy. And you find cultures revolving their entire lifestyle around grapes, So you look into the Greeks and grapes. You look into these different, depending on the tribal units, you could look into the Talahumari that would drink tequila. And to think about the alchemy, the process of putting fruits or vegetables into a pot and allowing them to to distill themselves and move energy around and turn sugar into spirit, and that spirit into what would cause people. I mean, I don't know anybody. I don't care how much rhythm you got in your body. If you got rhythm and I give you 2 drinks, you're fucking better at dancing. Yes or no? I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you're the best dancer in the world. I don't care if you work and you're a tap dancer. I don't care if you doing some like, you know, toe tapping. I don't care what the fuck you do. But if I give you 2 drinks, you name your drinks, you're better at dancing. Because it's spiritual. So spirit that resides in the body is also resides within plant life, which we can speed up processes with. Yeah. But remember, we can do the same thing with urine too, because we're processing in our alchemical lab. Urine is a very high form of alcohol, by the way. hmm Oh shit! Look at this. So guys, I got about two two or three sips of this beverage left. So, any last questions, comments, or retorts? And we'll go from there. And I will say ahead of time, I do appreciate everybody showing up. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for letting me talk for 3 hours and continuing the insanity, which is all of our minds. Caught drinking pee. Isn't that funny? Jasper, of course you can email me. Didn't I hit you up earlier? My email is beneath most of my videos. And as usual here, I don't do this too often, but here's my email. It is Theo, Theo, which means God, and Luminous, which means light. Theo Luminous, TheoLuminous, Theo Luminous at gmail.com. And for anybody else that's here, that is whether you're new or you're old, you can find all of my information on most of my videos prior to about a month ago. I just update them infrequently with the description box, and you can feel free to part some of your energy and currency, remove some of it from your pocket and put it into one of my accounts for doing this service to humanity and to myself and you guys through one of the cash apps or what's the other one? I got Cash App and I got the PayPal. Yeah, you can hit me up there, which is TsarXen, TsarXen. Both those are available on paypal.me/TsarXen or $ and then TsarXen. And you can donate to me there for being fucking coolest motherfucker ever. And if you couldn't hear what I just said, watch one of my other videos, because then you'll get more lessons. And yeah, man, you can definitely Theoluminous. Yeah, it is Sydney. Yeah, the golden showers are great, aren't they? So I've got two more sips of this. Theo Lum. No, ultrasonic. No, Theo is right. Luminous. Theo luminous. Luminous, like light. God light. God light at. Yeah, I'm gonna make it more streamlined so in the future I can. So I'll make it a little more streamlined in the future so that way I don't have to go through all this shit with you guys. You just push a button beneath, but I'm never. I don't really know how to do that from a fucking phone. I don't have like a giant computer system and five people that are like hooking up the whole system. Soon enough that will happen, and we'll have a whole website and cool shit you can donate to and purchase cool shit off of because I got Theo Loom in OUS LUMINOUS TheoLuminous at gmail.com. Thank you for putting in there ultrasonic, by the way. Um, yeah, and I'm still here for a couple more minutes. The last few weirdos and creeps and gutter snipes. Anything you need to know. I got until my phone shuts off. How's that? Or until I fall asleep and start snoring. And if I do that, well, that's where the show ends. And thank you for the comments. And Lucianne, thanks for being here. Um, somebody said this is the greatest show on the internet. I've heard that a couple times. It doesn't. Thank you, Jasper. Yeah, best streams on YouTube. Yes, I'm gonna have to hook it up and be on more than just YouTube. What you got planned? Um, I don't really plan on anything, man. Sydney, I just kind of see what happens. I'm not sure. I got planned that I'm gonna finish this. Theo Luminous, thank you. There it is, ultrasonic. That's my email right there, or my Gmail. And I don't want to be sexist or anything or gender. I want to be gender inclusive. So I think I'm gonna call it Theoluminous at female, but I think that would probably be too. So we should call it Theoluminous at genderless.com. That way nobody gets pissed about anything that I'm saying. Interactive AO. Yeah. Well, I'm just here to be here. Tomorrow, Monday morning, and if I can charge this phone up, if I could charge this phone up, I might go out into fucking public sector tonight. Hey Sydney, you're not a goddamn robot, are you? Please don't be that way. Don't be a robot. Can I bring you back to life? Can I breathe some life into your robotic nature? Whoever you might be. Thank you, ultrasonic. All it is well, it's sometimes it's a messy, murky, muddy stream of mayhem, and other times it's the cleanest stream of wisdom that you can find anywhere. Yeah. All right. That was my last sip of the vino, which means the countdown is on. If you have anything to ask. Sydney? Well, I'll see a face soon. What are you talking about? Your face or just a face in general? I like how you were so indescript. You will see a face soon. I can see a few faces over there. I feel like there's three weird faces on there. Oh, is that Bob's Burgers? No, is that like to me it looks like zombie Bob's Burgers. I can't really tell. Zet Chrono, don't worry about the 7 hour or the 10 hour or the 8 hour one. How many people on the internet out here doing 7 hour fucking live broadcasts or 10 hour ones? They live. Oh, that's they live? Oh shit. Yeah. The real ones out here doing it. Educational, entertainment, 100%. Thank you, Lucienne. This is what I attempt to do. And humorous too. Wait, don't forget about that. I'm pretty fucking funny. A lot of people don't get my jokes, but if you met me in person, it's pretty excellent. I would say. At least I think I'm funny. I don't care if anybody else thinks I'm funny. Yeah, now I see, but I'm doing it from Sydney, but I'm doing it from a phone. So when I see over here on the little picture, I can't really see it so well. Ayo, that is the Alpha Omega. Well, they call me Zeta Epsilon Nil, and then they call me Alpha Omega, and they also call me a couple other things. Sometimes they call me fuckface, but that's just I don't even know what that means in French. Thank you, Alexandra Hafner, for the lols at that one. Ah, yes, 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 yes. Finally. I wonder what it sounds like in French. um, don't make me do my French accent because it's not very good. Thank you for remembering Lucienne. The Alpha Omega was just a front for the Ancient One. Yes, you do remember, and I appreciate that. There's only a couple of people that know that that's actually my name. I mean, it's not my name. It's just, you know, for this little moment here, if that's how you need to identify me. Yeah, if I'm running for president, I'm not running for president of the country. I'm running for the fucking um, president of the entire fucking realm. There's no there's it's the whole thing or nothing. I'm putting all my chips in on if you give me control of this realm, what I'll do is I'll hand over all control to everyone. If I win the election for the god of the realm, I would be like, all right, here y'all get a joystick. Have fun. See you later. I'm just gonna dip out. Oh, you watched that one? Holy shit! You never watched the 10 hour one. Don't watch that one. That was weird. That was a long time ago when I was playing with tarot and shit. I mean, I still play with tarot cards, but that's crazy that some people watch this shit. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. That's all I can be here for. Enjoyment. Yeah, Zet, I know you were on that one. Zet, I remember you were on that one for a lot of that. So, fuck. I might get stumbly drunk sometimes, but for talking, hey, there's, hey, Lucianne, there's too many jokes to go with right there, and you already know. So, I mean, between my tongue and my, nice, nice, perfection. All right, I got 2 minutes left, and if anybody else is in here, feel free to say hello, goodbye, or if there's a question, answer, or otherwise, if anybody wants to. Oh, here's what you need to remember. Remember this one thing. Uh, Keep your asshole clean. Remember that one. What is the sound of silence? What is the sound of nothing? But keeps your goddamn asshole clean. Keep the water sprayed up in there. And then always you know why? Because you should have a lover that wants to stick their tongue in your ass. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say, you know? Keep your mouth clean and keep your ass clean. It's the same thing. Your mouth and your ass is the same damn thing. Your butthole and your tongue should be the same color. How's that sound? Alright, y'all. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because 3:15. I feel alright. I feel like I've done my service to humanity. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Maybe the next day. Maxwell, good to see you. Yeah. Clean your goddamn temple. Keep your face, your tongue, and your asshole neat. And yeah, drink raw eggs and your piss. Hey, adios. Adios, crackheads.